interesting one. That's an interesting one. Peace to the guys, though. Peace to the guys. Welcome back. Welcome back. Today, we're going to hear some of the fast sciences of imagination presentation. I've been working on this for a minute. You feel me? Well, I've been playing with y'all a little bit. I've been told y'all I was supposed to hit y'all with a presentation, but today I finally got it. So there ain't no excuses for that. We got it here today. You feel me? The fast sciences of imagination. You know, the purpose of these fast sciences, the most had about to organize these fast sciences because this is the way we can objectively prove to you on this plane of existence. That's why God. It's only fast sciences. The rest is the morals and principles. The fast sciences is easy to learn like thesis, but the morals and principles is what you got to embody. It's only fast sciences: astrology, biology, quantum physics, melanin, and grounding. All those fast sciences alone are unfulfilled. Like the science of quantum physics alone is unfulfilled. What the Most High Chief Babaji did is he interconnected all five of the sciences to show you how you are God. So we're going to get it going. We're going to start the presentation off with what is the Christ? Because a lot of people have a misconception about what the Christ is. They think the Christ is some type of being, white being that's going to come down from the sky or something. But truly, the Christ is just a consciousness, not an actual man, like Chief teaches. Peace be still and know that you are God. It's a mentality that you tap into once you realize that you are God. The Christ consciousness is the highest frequency of thought that you can tap into in this planet existence. And what helps you reach the Christ consciousness is the fast sciences. The fast sciences is what's going to help y'all reach the Christ consciousness. The Christ is a consciousness that one taps into once they realize that I am. I am everything, everything is me. I am God. Christ is a mentality that one breaks, that one reaches once they break the illusion of separation. So once you break out the illusion of separation and you realize that you are one with everything, that's what Jesus was saying. Jesus was saying, I am the Father all one. I am not separate from the Father. I am the Father all one. He was tapping into that Christ consciousness. It's the crystals, the chrism oil. You understand? Hey, it's hot to get the AC on. I'm in this sweat. The Messiah. What is the Messiah? The Messiah is not no invisible man that's going to come down from the clouds with his arms out. The Messiah is not really nothing fanatical that y'all want to really like place some type of mystical, fanatical, magical idea on. The Messiah is just it's a word. It's a word. So you got to decode these words like T teaches. It's a spell. So when you decode that spell for Messiah, the Messiah is the messenger of God or Allah, like T teaches. The definition, that's the D right there. That's the D. The definition of Messiah is a leader of a certain group or cause. Now you can do your own research. Y'all can do your own research and see for yourself that that's what Messiah is. The Messiah is not no man that's gonna come down from the sky and save y'all from your worries. And first of all, you gotta say yourself. You feel me? So the Messiah is just the one that comes through and clarifies the truth to prove to you that you are God. With the lower self there, right? The lower self depicted a white Jesus into our subconscious for generations. So we want to know who the Messiah was when the Messiah came. So for generations, they programmed you with a false identity of Jesus, the white man being the Messiah. But truly, that's just their belief system. You feel me? That's keeping you in a reincarnation soul trap. The Messiah is nothing more than a leader of a group of cause. And what the COINTELPRO really is trying to do, they did it on purpose. The CIA, they did it on purpose. They on look out for the rise of a black Messiah. That's what they're trying to prevent. The rise of a black leader that's going to organize black people in their natural environment. The black militant group. That's why anytime you see a black man trying to do something good for the community, what happens? They shut him down. And today I'm here to bear witness. I'm here to bear witness today that Eligio Bishop is the Messiah for all of humanity, specifically African American and Caribbean people, God's people. Now, if you want to get in tune with the teachings, because it's stamped. I'm not just saying that I'm talking on my neck. It's stamped. Y'all can get in tune with the teachings. You can see the portfolio. You can see the whole curriculum organized. The whole Kingdom of God is organized on Nature Boy TV YouTube channel. It look good on this camera? Yeah, you can see me right here. You just see my hand. On Nature Boy TV YouTube channel. You feel me? This is where all the information is organized. Over 1.6 thousand videos of divine truth. Hours upon hours upon hours. Now, we're going to start with your soul is the sun. When we talk about the soul, the Most High Chief Babaji teaches that a soul is the essential or most important part of something. Now, what's the most important part? What's the most essential, important thing in reality? That's the sun. The Latin word for sun is soul. So your soul is the sun. The sun is the soul. You are a piece of the sun, a piece of the soul. You feel me? The word sun means soul in Latin. You are a per sun, a per percentage of the sun, a a piece of the sun. You're not just a drop in the ocean like CTC. You're the whole ocean in that one drop. You are a piece of the sun, the piece of the oneness. And your astrological program is the specific piece of the oneness that you are. Your soul is the solar system. So if you want to know what piece of the oneness that you are, you got to get in tune with your astrology, because you are the sun. The sun is the oneness. You feel me? That's God. That's what they would call God. It's a physical manifestation of your mind, like CTC. It's a symbol for the conscious mind. Astrology. This is the first science that we're talking about, that we teach. It goes in order from astrology, biology, quantum physics, melody, and grounding. So astrology is the scientific study of how the planetary bodies have an effect on human behavior and earthly occurrences. You feel me? Astrology is not just horoscopes and zodiac signs. No, it's actually genetics, like she teaches. When you get into an astrology, you're looking at your DNA. She teaches that when you look up to the heavens, to the sky, at the stars, you're actually looking at DNA. The sky is DNA. As above, so below. That's why astrology is associated with the Hermetic law of correspondence. As above, being astrology, and so below, being biology. That's why she teaches that astrology and biology go hand in hand. There's no difference. It's astrobiology. Astrology is the mechanics of consciousness and the thought pattern of your mind. If you want to master your reality, you got to master your mind, like she teaches, because reality is a reflection of the mind. Astrology is the way that the mind uses thoughts to manifest reality. That's why you got the Mercury placement. You got a sign for every planet reflection. Y'all got a sign for every planet. You're not just saying that talking out our neck. No, it's real science work. Like, you have a sign for every planet. You can't just judge somebody based off their general sign. It gets deep into the aspects and the houses and all that. You feel me? The angels and the demons. You feel me? So you got to master the thought pattern of your mind, which is astrology. This is where you're going to discover all your generational curses. All of your generational curses that you need to overcome to heal your family lineage are located in your astrological program. My specific piece of the Almighty Oneness is my program. Reality is a projection of your astrological program. Our egos is what bring meaning to life. You feel me? Don't let nobody tell you that you are not your ego. People don't know what the ego is. People do not know what the ego is. If you search up right now the definition of ego on your phone, the definition of ego is one's sense of self. You are your ego. But truly what your ego is your astrological program. You are your astrological program. That's your sense of self. That's what you are. A program, consciousness, like she teaches. So a lot of y'all already know about the elements. A lot of y'all already know about the fire signs, the water signs, the air signs, and the earth signs. But we're just going to be going over which ones are the fire signs and which, you feel me, and what they represent. What the fire energy represents, the water energy, and all the elements represent. All of the fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And what the fire element signifies is energy, aggressiveness, enthusiasm, impulsiveness, bright, warm, passionate, and temperamental. That's what the fire energy represents. You feel me? So if you want to learn how to manipulate the element of fire, you got to learn how to control your fire, control your energy, control your aggression. You feel me? Control your impulsiveness, all that. You feel me? With the water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. What the water element signifies is intuition, sweet, emotion, imagination, sensitivity, emotional, dreamy, psychic, dramatic, and caring. So if you want to master water, if you want to manipulate the water and water being, you got to control your intuition, you got to control your emotions, and control your imagination. Control your water. All the air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And the air element signifies intellect, reason, communication, smart, curious, flirty, and thought. All the earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. The earth element signifies practicality, stability, materialism, stable, reliable, sensual, and grounded. Now, in astrology, you got the modalities. You feel me? The modalities are the modes. It's 3 different modalities. The modes or modalities coincide with the season that the particular sign occupies. You got cardinal, fixed, and mutable modalities. The cardinal modality is the first signs at the beginning of each season. So the first signs that start off each season are the cardinal modality signifies action, leadership, go-getters. They like to take initiative, and they ideal people. You feel me? So Aries is a cardinal sign, starts off spring. Cancer is a cardinal sign that starts off summer. Libra is a cardinal sign that starts off fall. Capricorn is a cardinal sign that starts off winter. You feel me? The fixed modality signifies persistence, determination, and resourcefulness. strong stand, power, loyal, and sustainers. And all the fixed signs are Taurus, which is mid-spring, Leo, which is midsummer, and Scorpio, which is mid-fall, and Aquarius, which is mid-winter. The mutable modality signifies openness. You feel me? Openness to change and flexibility. They thrive with change, and they are able to adapt to any environment or situation. All the mutable signs are Gemini, which is towards the end of spring, Virgo, which is towards the end of the summer, Sagittarius, which is towards the end of the fall, and Pisces, which is towards the end of the winter. Now, when you hear say you got a sign for every planet, we're not just talking out our neck. That's what astrology is. Astrology is how the planetary bodies have an effect on human behavior. As above, so below. You have a sign for every single planet. Every planet has a different type of effect on you. The sun is the planet of vitality, life, ego, creativity, and self-expression. That's who you are at your core. That's what the sun is. See, teaches that the sun is a symbol for the conscious mind. You feel me? So who you are at the core is the sun. That's why you hear everybody saying that they are a particular sign. Oh, I'm a Leo, or I'm a Taurus, I'm a Gemini. That's just your sun sign. That's your overall ego. That's your overall sense of self. But you also have a moon sign. You got a Mercury sign. The moon is the planet that affects your emotions, your intuition, your moods, mother, children. Mercury is the planet that has an effect on your intellect, logic, perception, thinking, and communication. It's how you think and process information. Venus is the planet that has an effect on pleasure, romance, love, femininity, beauty, and art. Mars is the planet that has an effect on aggression, drive, your power, your instincts, and masculinity. Jupiter is the planet that is the planet of growth, abundance, luck, expansion, higher learning, travel, and religion. Jupiter represents your connection to the all, your connection to source. That's how you connect to the source. Saturn, or Satan, is the planet of structure, restrictions, time, or authority, discipline, limitations, karma, your fears, your doubts. If you want to know what's blocking you, because sometimes we could be our own worst devil, like teases. So all of your doubts are coming from your Saturn. All of your fears and all of your karmic lessons are coming from your Saturn. These next three planets right here, you share whatever sign these planets are in, you share that with your generation. You share that with your generation. You feel me? Whether that's the Capricorn generation, Sagittarius generation, Aquarius generation, you're going to share these three planets with your generation. These are the generational planets. But Uranus is the planet of rebellion, revolution, individualism, eccentricity, humanitarianism, science, and inventions. Neptune is the planet of dreams, illusion, delusion, spirituality, oneness, and addictions. Pluto is the planet of power, transformation, obsession, alchemy, healing, life, and death. Now, these are all the zodiac signs in order. You feel me? All the zodiac signs, you'd be surprised how many people don't really know the zodiac signs in order. All the zodiac signs in order are Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. You feel me? And I'm just going to go over a few traits. You feel me? Some traits for Aries is adventurous, energetic, and pioneering. Some traits for Taurus is patient, reliable, warm-hearted. Gemini, adaptable, versatile, communicative. Cancer, emotional, loving, intuitive. Leo, generous, warm-hearted, and creative. Virgo, modest, shy, and meticulous. Libra, diplomatic, urbane, and romantic. Scorpio, determined, forceful, and emotional. Sagittarius, optimistic, freedom-loving, and jovial. Capricorn, practical, prudent, and ambitious. Aquarius, friendly, humanitarian, and honest. And Pisces, imaginative, sensitive, and compassionate. Those are all the positive ones. You got polarity. There's some negative traits too, but that was just a positive one. Now here you got something called the houses, right? In astrology, you got the planets, you got the signs, and you got the houses. You feel me? You're not just a sign. You feel me? That's why Chief came out with something called the True New Astrology. Because yeah, you got the sign, but you also have the houses. In astrology, the houses represent different environmental areas of your life. It's 12 houses for 12 zodiac signs. Each house is ruled by a zodiac sign. You feel me? It goes in order. It goes in order from Aries to Pisces. The first house is the first house deals with the area of life that controls your appearance and outward personality. That's Aries. The second house is the area of your life that deals with money, possessions, values, and skills. That's Taurus. The third house is the area of your life that deals with your mental activity, learning, siblings, and communication. That's Gemini. The fourth house is the area of your life that deals with home, parents, roots, and security. That's Cancer. The fifth house is the area of your life that deals with romance, children, fun, and creativity. The sixth house is the area of your life that deals with work, service, and self-improvement. That's Virgo. The seventh house is the area of your life that deals with marriage and other partnerships. That's Libra. The eighth house is the area of your life that deals with sex, death, letting go, regeneration, and other people's money sharing. That's Scorpio. The ninth house is the area of your life that deals with higher education, philosophy, publishing, religion, travel, and law. That's Sagittarius. The 10th house is the area of your life that deals with career, status, reputation, vocational purpose, and taking power. That's all about Capricorn. The 11th house is the area of your life that deals with friends, groups, goals, and aspirations. That's Aquarius right there. The 12th house is the area of your life that deals with solitude, institutions, transcendence, self-sabotage, and like the subconscious. That's Pisces. That's all about Pisces. Now, the thing about your houses, right, in astrology, whatever house your sun is in, because the sun represents your overall ego, that's the saying that you truly are. Like, you might think that you're a Sagittarius, but your sun might be in the third house. You feel me? Your sun might be in the third house. In biology, we know that through epigenetics, a cell must become one with its environment. So whatever house a planet is in, that's your true sign. So you might be a Sagittarius, the sun is Sagittarius, but it's in the third house. You feel me? So the third house is ruled by what? Gemini. So yeah, you might think you were Sagittarius, but since it's in the third house and you are your house, you are your environment through epigenetics, you really like a Gemini for real. You still got that Sagittarius energy, but since the sun is in the third house and you are your environment and astrology is biology, you are that house. Like, for instance, you feel me? I'm a Leo. My sun is in Leo, right? Let me go right back right quick. My sun is in Leo, so it's in Leo in the ninth house. So yeah, my sun is in Leo. I might be a Leo, but since it's inside the ninth house, I'm really like a Leo and Sagittarius at the same time. So the energy from Leo, the sun represents your overall core, who you are at the core. It's kind of like an equation. You put the sun, the overall core, with Leo, which is very creative. It's like a child. It's like playful, confident. Inside the house of higher education, philosophy, and publishing, religion, travel, law. So when it comes to like philosophy and morals and principles, because that's what ninth house is all about, morals and principles, and law and philosophy, religion, all that. I take pride in that. Like I'm very confident in that. Like I like to have fun with it. I like to be creative with it. I'm like a soldier for the truth. I'm like a soldier for the guru. You feel me? I'm like a soldier for my guru. You feel me? I honor my guru. I'm loyal to the knowledge. You feel me? That's what Leo ninth house is about. Angels and demons. The aspects in our birth chart give us detailed, different descriptions than the general signs. You feel me? Angels are angles of light that bend at a certain degree to bring forth enlightenment and understanding thought forms. You have your aspects in astrology. It's not just the planets, the signs, and the houses. The aspects is the aspects of you. Those are your aspected genes. The genes are you, the aspects of you, your aspected traits. You feel me? Those are the type of relationships that the planets got with each other. The planets got either a harmonious relationship with each other or a unharmonious relationship with each other. These are your aspects. These are where your angels and demons are located. Your demons are low vibrational thought forms or angles of light that cause blockages and confusion. That's all located in your birth chart. All of your angels and demons. Your angels and demons are your aspects. Your sextiles, trans, and conjunctions are your angels. When you get your birth chart, you feel me? When you search up your birth chart and you see a whole bunch of lines on your birth chart, it's gonna pull up on your next screen. You see a whole bunch of lines. Don't be overwhelmed by those lines. Those are your aspects. Those are your genes. That's your mind in astrology. In astrology, that's your mind. That's how your mind is bending. Light is bending inside of your mind to either cause thought forms that bring forth enlightenment and understanding, or bend at a degree to cause low vibrational thought forms that block you from understanding. You feel me? All of your angels are your sextiles, trans, conjunctions. All of your demons are your squares, oppositions, and quincunx aspects. Your demonic aspects are your genes or generational curses that you need to overcome. She teaches that generational curses are gene curses. Generational curses. All of your gene curses are located in your chart. That's why, like, all the mistakes that you do in your life come from your chart. They come from your aspects. They come from the way light is bending that inside of your mind to block you from understanding love. Aspects are either harmonious or unharmonious relationships between the planets, right? So this is right here, right? It look crazy. All the lands right here. This is my chart right here. This is my chart. My sun is in Leo. My Mars is in Leo. My Mercury is in Leo. That means that at the exact time of my birth, right, all the planetary bodies were positioned in certain constellations and certain signs. Tarot.com is like probably gonna charge you like $20. They might charge y'all like $20 to get your birth chart on Tarot.com. But it's worth it. That's the best $20 you're gonna spend your whole life. That's the best $20 you're gonna spend your whole life. If you wanna, you feel me, overcome your generational curses, if you wanna heal your family lineage, you're gonna have to get your birth chart. You would have to, because that's where your generational curses are located, inside of your birth chart. All your generational curses are located in your birth chart. So that's, you're going to want to spend that $20 on Tarot.com. On GroupoBusiness.com, it's going to be free. It's going to be free, but it's not going to be as detailed as Tarot.com. Astro-Seek.com is going to be free too, but it's not going to be as detailed as Tarot.com. When you do get your birth chart, you're going to need the exact time you was born. We call it your login date. You feel me? Because energy cannot be birthed. Like TT, energy cannot be birthed or it cannot be destroyed. So you logged in, you thought yourself into existence. When they call your birthday, that was when you go log in. That's when you logged into this interface. That's when you logged into this plane of existence, this thought plane. So you're gonna need your exact time, the date, and the year and location that you was born to get your birth chart. Now we're going on to the next science. We're going on to the next science of biology. The reason why biology is one of the fast sciences that we teach to show you that you are God is because DNA is very important. People think that DNA is just something like, oh, DNA. I done heard somebody say that. I don't give no fuck about DNA one time, which is crazy. You say you don't care about DNA, you say you don't care about God, like she teaches. Because she teaches that DNA is actually the man of God. Biology is a science that deals with the nature of living organisms. And you are a living organism. You are not separate from nature. You are a living organism. You are one with all the other species in nature. We're going to show that. DNA is the molecular blueprint for every living thing. It's the set out design for everything. DNA is the set out design and molecular blueprint for every living thing. All life emerges from DNA. Genes are pieces of DNA that code for something. Whenever you hear the word gene, every time automatically replace the word gene with information. DNA is the blueprint. A gene is a segment of that DNA that holds a certain type of information to give you blue eyes, black eyes, you feel me, light skin, dark skin, tall, short, you feel me, that's all genes information. RNAs are pieces of genes that get read by the ribosome. So you got DNA being the molecular blueprint, you got a gene being a segment of that DNA that's coded for something. RNA is a piece of that gene that gets copied. It gets copied and sent out into the cytoplasm, the environment of the cell, where it gets read by the ribosome. The ribosome reads the RNA 3 letters at a time. And when it reads, the reason why it's reading the RNA 3 letters at a time is so it can collect a specific type of amino acid so it can create a protein. But after it creates a protein, it's going to create a cell. Cells create tissues, tissues create organs, and organs create organisms. Nucleotides are color bridges within the DNA that code for something. Nucleotides are known as your A's, C's, T's, and Z's. It's really your genes. Like a gene, right? A gene is a specific sequence of A's, C's, T's, and Z's, nucleotides. When you look at the DNA helix, when you look at the helix of DNA, it looks like a ribbon or like a red. The color bridges inside that DNA helix, you feel me? The color bridges inside the helix are the A's, C's, T's, and Z's. And they activate. A gene is a specific sequence of those that's activated to make you who you are. Your genome is the activated genes within your DNA. That's your genes that's known. So your activated program, the program that you have activated already, all the genes that make you who you are that's already activated is your genome. That's your astrological program, your genetic program. Because remember, astrology is biology. So your astrological program is your genetic program, like T teaches. Proteins are responsible for movement of life, physical structure and function. The reason why they're responsible for movement of life is because amino acids make proteins and proteins make cells. We are all cells inside the body of God. We are all cells. You feel me? We are all cells. All the proteins are already within you. You feel me? All the proteins are already within you. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you gotta eat chicken to get protein. You gotta get your protein from the chicken, from the motherfucker. All the proteins are already within you. They're already within you. Amino acids make proteins. Proteins make cells, cells make tissues, and tissues make organs, which make organisms.
Amino acids make up proteins. Proteins, along with other chemicals, combine to form living cells. Cells make up tissues. Tissues make up organs. And organs, when they're all put together and functioning, of course, combine to form living creatures like you and me. To help DNA interact with the cytoplasm and convert those amino acids into proteins, special chemicals inside the nucleus make partial copies of the DNA code. These partial copies, called RNA, look a lot like DNA, but they're shorter, of course, and they're missing one of their sides. Their small shape and size allows them to fit through tiny pores in the nucleus, out to the cytoplasm, and into the mouth of another particle called a ribosome.
See?
Ribosomes are protein-building machines. They read the RNA code 3 letters at a time, suck amino acids out of their surroundings, and stick them together in a chain according to the RNA code. As the chain grows, it bends, it folds, and it sticks to itself to form a perfectly shaped protein. Every 3 letters of the RNA code tell the ribosome which of the 20 different kinds of amino acids should be added next. For example, CAA tells the ribosome to grab a glutamine. AGU tells it to grab a serine, and so on. Once a protein is built, it can then go on to do a number of different things, one of which could be to help form a brand new cell.
Okay. So all living organisms that you see around, so all these different type of living organisms that you see inside the land, on the land that's coming out the earth, inside the water, in the air, all life emerges from DNA. We all come from DNA. And we are all connected. All life is connected. Don't let nobody tell you that you are not a part of nature. See, teaches that we all living things are part of nature. We're not separate from nature. Don't let nobody tell you that we're not part of nature. That's why every time we try to acknowledge the other species in nature for being one and two in nature than we are, people try to be like, oh, no, but they animals. Ooh. No, I am animal. You're not separate from no thing and no one. All humans are part of nature. It's one man, one self. We're all connected through DNA. We are all living things are connected through DNA. She teaches that DNA is the quantum field of infinite possibilities. The quantum field of infinite possibilities is just the darkness, you feel me? And from this darkness come infinite realities, infinite possibilities of realities. But that's what DNA is. From DNA comes all these different infinite possibilities of life forms. All these different life forms that you could think of inside the air. It's a lot of life forms that we don't know about. Human beings are only 0.01% of the species in nature. We only 0.01% of species in nature. So all the other rest of the species in nature emerge from DNA. So we are all connected from DNA. Humans are part of nature. Our genomes make us unique from each other. We are all connected through DNA, but unique through our genomes. The reason why you look different from me, I look different from the tree, and you look different from the lion, and the lion looks different from the bird, is because the activated genome, the activated set of genes, or the sequence of nucleotides, the sequence of A's, C's, T's, and Z's. We have A's, C's, T's, and Z's that's aligned differently to make us different from each other. It might be slightly off just by a little bit to make us a little bit different. You feel me? It might be GAA is one gene, or ACU is another gene, or TCA is another gene. You feel me? All of your A's, C's, T's, and Z's sequence in a certain way to activate a certain gene to make us unique from each other. But we all connected through DNA.
Different genes, which is ultimately why their bodies look and function differently. But one of the many amino acids. Different creatures have different genes, which is ultimately why their bodies look and function differently. But one of the many reasons scientists believe all life on Earth is related is that the basic DNA code, the language of A's, C's, T's, and G's, is pretty much the same for all living things.
This is not a game, man. This is not a game. This shit real. Hey, we connected with all the living species in nature. Any type of species that you would think of, you related to. You are one with nature. If we are one with nature, why are we the only species that's living as if we disconnected from nature? Every other species in nature, even though they come from DNA, they genetically designed to be in tune with nature. You feel me? They don't gotta go to school to get programmed to learn how to be done. A lion don't gotta go to school to learn how to be a lion. Humans don't gotta go to school to learn how to be a lion. All the information you need, just like all the other species in nature, it's already genetically activated your program for you to be able to do what you gotta do. You feel me? We are all one with nature. We are all connected. Cells in the body of God. So he teaches that every living organism is a cell that makes up the earth. The human body is made of a community of 50 trillions of cells. I am made of a community of 50 trillions of cells. The human body is made of 50 trillions of cells. And each cell within the human body functions just like a human being. So truly, your human body is made of 50 trillions of miniature human beings. That's why T teaches that your cells are your ancestors. Your ancestors are, that's why he was saying that your cells are your ancestors. Because your body is made of 50 trillions of people that carry information inside of them. Because you got the cells, you feel me? You got the 50 trillions of cells. In the middle of the cell is the nucleus. Inside the nucleus is where all the genetic information is stored, all the chromosomes, all the DNA. That's where all the information is. So your body is made up of 50 trillions of miniature people that carry around information. Our minds, our thoughts control the behavior of our cells. You are God to all 50 trillions of your cells. Your cells cannot see you. They can't see what you look like. They don't know what you look like, but they know that you are the controlling force behind them. You are God to your cells. They don't know what you look like. You feel me? All of us are 50 trillions of cells. The lion is a different type of cell. The bird is a different type of cell. We are all different type of cells that carry out different functions, but it's all fractal because so below as above and as above so below. The same way your human body is made of 50 trillions of cells, every living species on earth is organisms, different cells that make up the body of Allah. We're inside of a being. It's like that Russian dog. Every time you open this dog, it's going to be a dog inside. It's going to be another one inside. It's going to be another one inside. Because it's all fractal. We all cells in the body of God. I am a neuron cell. That's why I have a nervous system and interpret my reality through electrical signals. That's the specific type of cell that you are, a neuron cell. You feel me? We are all neuron cells. That's why we transmit information. We transmit electrical signals. Oh, well.
The human body is a community of approximately 50 trillion cells. Everything the body does, the cell does as well. Cells have respiratory and excretory systems. They feed, feel, think, and communicate with other cells. Trillions of cells make up a single organism called the human body, and billions of human bodies help make up the organism we call Earth. The Earth has more similarities with the human anatomy than you may think.
Cells are miniature people, so a lot of people say, well, if cells are miniature people, then are you telling me, Bruce, that my nervous system is connected to my skin, my membrane? The answer is absolutely. If you took embryology, you would know that, because the nervous system is derived from one of the germ layers in the fertilized egg called the ectoderm, and there's only two structures that come from ectoderm, skin and nervous system. So you and the cell are exactly the same. So a cell is a
miniature human. Cell is a miniature human. Cell is a miniature you. You feel me? And your thoughts, everything you think affects your cells. Your cells are affected by what you think. Your cells are affected by what you eat. Your cells are affected by what you smell, what you hear, what you read. Your cells are affected by your environment. And that's why you have epigenetics. Dr. Bruce Lipton, shout out to Bruce Lipton. You feel me? I fuck with Bruce Lipton. She makes sure that Bruce Lipton is one of the what's it called? It starts with an R. You feel me? Not like a resource, but like a reference. You feel me? Thank you. I'm grateful. Very good. Very good. It's very good. But Bruce Lipton is like a reference that we use for epigenetics. You feel me? Bruce Lipton is the leading scientist when it comes to the science of epigenetics. Epi means above. So epigenetics is the scientific study of how your genes are regulated by information above your genetics. So basically what goes on is our environment gets interpreted by our cells. All 50 trillions of your cells are translated your environment. Our environment gets interpreted by our cells, and that information gets used to select and activate different genes or information inside your DNA. So all of your 50 trillions of cells are translated your environment through your five senses. And that environmental information is getting used to select and activate information inside your DNA to make you one with your environment. The way we perceive life coming at us activates and deactivates certain genes in our DNA. We got genetic determinism. Genetic determinism is the belief that genes directly control and determine the character of your life. But that's outdated information. So basically what it is, like, people think that they fall victim to their genes. People think that they fall victim to their hereditary. You feel me? Or my grandma had cancer, or my great grandma had cancer, so shit, when I get older, I'll end up getting cancer. My great auntie had diabetes, so shit, when I get older, I'm gonna get diabetes. They think that they victim to their heredity. That's outdated information. That's not true. That's not true. You are not a victim to your genetics. You are in control. You are God, obviously. You feel me? The definition of dogma is a belief based on religious persuasion and not scientific fact. The medical field is living their lives based on religious persuasion, lack of scientific fact or knowledge. Religion is a doctrine, a set of beliefs taught by the church. The medical field, they're not doing their job to actually help people. If they was, they'll be telling you to get into a nature. They're not doing their job to help nobody. They doing their shit for the money. You feel me? How I'm gonna heal you? How I'm gonna heal you but charge you for the shit that's actually gonna heal you? It's not healing you. The shit, you ever heard of the sugar pill? It's a sugar pill experiment. What they did, it's your belief in the medical field. It's your belief in the doctor system that's healing you. It's your belief in it. They gave two patients, one a sugar pill and another one a regular real medicine pill. The doctor said, take this sugar pill, you're gonna heal. Take this pill, you're gonna heal. Both the patients got healed. The sugar pill is a fake pill. It was a fake pill. So even though it was a fake pill, that client or that patient still got healed by the pill due to the belief of the medical field. It's your belief in the medical field that's healing you. When they say in the Bible that Jesus healed a blind man, Jesus did not heal. He didn't heal nobody. He didn't heal no blind man. Jesus said, "Do you believe that I can heal you?" The blind man was like, "Yeah." He said, "Okay, through your faith, you are healed." And then he was healed. Through your faith, through your belief. It's called the placebo effect. Your beliefs manifest reality. Through your belief, you are healed. The doctor is not doing their job to actually care for you. They the real drug dealers. They the real drug lords. They was really killing you. They don't care about you at all. Otherwise, they'll be telling you to make sure that you grounded, make sure that you eating organic, make sure that you watch and you got your circle, make sure that you change your environment, all that. You are not a victim to your heredity. You can heal yourself. Your thoughts control your body. You not really supposed to be going to the doctor, God. Y'all not supposed to be going to the doctor. Y'all not supposed to be going to the doctor. The doctor is killing you. They killing you. They telling you that there's something wrong with you when it's not really nothing wrong with you. It's just the way that you're thinking is having an effect on your body. Teaches that your feelings come from your thoughts. Disease is dis-ease. You truly can't have a disease. People not dying from no disease. Oh God, people are not dying from no disease. Dis-ease means that you either at freedom from discomfort or pain, or your body is at discomfort and pain. That's what disease means. And it comes from the mind. Stress is the main cause for disease. It comes from the environment. It comes from the thoughts. Your thoughts affect your cells. So if you constantly thinking in a stressful way, those stressful signals are the brain. When the brain interprets reality in a stressful way, it's sending those signals to your cells to put your body in that vibrational state, to put you in a stressful state.
What we were teaching in medical school is conventional belief that the medical model is that you are a biochemical machine controlled by genes. And the significance of that is, this is based on logic. If a healing profession works in agreement with nature and science, then that healing profession should be a benefit to the patients. But if a healing profession does not understand science and nature, then it may be a detriment to the patient. The leading causes of death in the United States are as follows. Number 3, cancer, with 553,000 people die every year. Number 2 is cardiovascular disease, with 700,000 people die every year. And the leading cause of death is called iatrogenic illness. And what that means is illness due to medical treatment.
So y'all not really down for the disease. Iatrogenic illness is the main cause of disease. Cancer is only number 3rd. They gotta fuck y'all up with that with the medications. But the iatrogenic illness is when people die not from the disease, but when they die from the medications that the doctor gives them. When you go to a doctor because your body feel a certain type of way, first of all, it's because your mind is at discomfort and pain. Your mind is at dis-ease. The mind is at dis-ease, so the body is a reflection of the mind, like teaches. The body is an apparatus of the mind. So if the mind is at dis-ease, stressfully, the body gonna be at dis-ease, stressfully. And you're not down for the disease. You down for the medications that the doctors prescribe you when they tell you to take your ass to CVS and Walgreens at the little pharmacy, and you gotta pay money for that. It's not the disease that's killing you. It's the prescriptions that they give you that's killing you. Y'all gonna have to bear with me. Y'all gonna have to bear with me with this video too. I'm gonna have to let this video ride out too. It's a 5-minute video. Y'all gonna have to bear with me because I can't press pause on the video. So I'm gonna explain it after. Basically, with this video, they're gonna show you how you are your environment and how the whole thing is working. You feel me? With epigenetics. Simple fact.
Biology of Belief, Dr. Bruce Lipton, PhD, outlines a new understanding of life based on his pioneering research with stem cells at Stanford University. In his book, Dr. Lipton proclaims that genes do not control biology and that cellular perceptions of the environment are the primary factor in biological processes. Proteins are the stuff of life, the physical gears that orchestrate the movements of biology. There are estimated to be about 100,000 different kinds of proteins in the human body. Today, medical students and practitioners are still operating under the assumption that genes, the blueprints that proteins are made from, are the primary factor in biological processes. When James Watson and Francis Crick first visualized the molecular structure of DNA in 1953, the scientific community believed they had found the ultimate secret to life. The widely accepted understanding is that genetic information stored within the DNA is enough to explain all of molecular biology and heredity, and is the reason why living organisms look and behave how they do, in sickness and in health. The old scientific paradigm espoused that inert genes were the brain of the cell, directing and controlling which proteins become expressed in every cell, and that we are essentially all just victims of heredity. After doing experiments with enucleation, a process where the genes are removed from the cell, Dr. Lipton and other experimenters found that cells lived normal lives for up to 2 months or even longer before their proteins wore out and they died, an observation that contradicts the primacy of genes in cell biology. The genetic information stored in DNA is the blueprint from which all of the body's proteins can be made. Modern science has mistaken the blueprint, the DNA, for the contractor who actually builds the house. So, if the genes are not the brain of the cell, what is? Introducing the cell membrane. At just 7 nanometers wide, this phospholipid bilayer is covered in hundreds of thousands of different receptor proteins. These receptor proteins are each specialized to interpret different signals from the environment and then relay that information back into the cell. When a chemical messenger, like a hormone or a neurotransmitter, binds to a receptor protein, like a key going into a lock, the receptor protein activates corresponding effector proteins inside of the cell, initiating a cascade of chemical reactions within the cell. These are called IMPs, or integral membrane proteins. This receptor-effector protein relationship in the cell membrane, how a cell perceives and reacts to its environment. A molecule in the environment binds to a receptor protein, an effector protein gets activated, and the chemical release inside the cell makes its way back to our cell's nucleus, where the DNA is opened up, so a new protein can be made in the process of transcription. All the functions of DNA depend on interactions with proteins. For example, within the chromosomes, proteins such as histones compact and organize DNA. These compact structures guide the interactions between DNA and other proteins, helping control which parts of the DNA are transcribed. For a gene to be expressed, a sigma factor protein needs to bind to RNA polymerase for it to split the DNA and be able to access the blueprint. Different sigma factors are utilized under different environmental conditions. These specialized sigma factors bind the promoters of genes appropriate to the environmental conditions, increasing the transcription of those genes. The genes chosen to be activated and synthesized into new proteins are the direct result of signals from the environment interacting with receptor proteins in the cell membrane. This is the molecular basis for the environment being the primary factor in biological processes. Understanding this complex interaction between environmental conditions and gene expression leads to a marvelous new understanding of biological development, where evolution is no longer a mindless game of chance based on random hereditary variants, but an interactive dance between organism and environment. Find out more at Quantum University.
I know that video was a long video, it sounded complicated, but the video, what it was about was it was breaking down epigenetics in a simple way. It was showing you how the brain of a cell, because like T teases, Your whole body is made of 50 trillions of miniature cells, miniature people. You feel me? So just how you have a brain as a living organism, your cells have brains as living organisms, miniature living organisms. So what is the brain of a cell? A lot of people think that the brain of the cell is the nucleus, because the nucleus is what stores all the genetic information that makes you who you are. But that's not true. That's not the brain of a cell. That's what the video was about. Breaking down how the whole thing works. The brain of a cell is not the nucleus, because enucleation is the process of removing the nucleus from a cell, and it can still live up to 2 months. Obviously, if you take the brain out of a living organism, that organism can no longer function. It can't function anymore. So if the nucleus is the brain of a cell, how come through enucleation we can take that bitch out of the cell and the cell can still live on for 2 months? That's because it's not the brain of the cell. The brain of the cell is a cell membrane. You feel me? It's the cell membrane. That's why the word brain is right there, because it's the brain of the cell. The reason why the cell membrane is the brain of the cell, you feel me? The cell membrane, like the cell is like that's the outer layer of the cell. That's the skin of the cell. That's the outer layer of the cell. The reason why that's the brain of the cell is because it's covered with something called IMPs, integral membrane proteins. Those are the receptor and effector proteins. Thousands of receptor and effector proteins that bring environmental signals in and out the cell. This is how your environment is regulating your genes, because all these integral membrane proteins, the receptor and effector proteins, are catching and transmitting environmental signals and bringing the environmental signal inside the cell, where it's going into the nucleus to activate and deactivate information that's going to make you warm to our environment. That's what's allowing the information from the environment to come into the cell to make you warm with what it is. You feel me? The receptor and effector proteins. Receptor proteins that surround the membrane take in environmental signals and pass them to the effector proteins into the cell to activate and select certain genes. Your receptors of the skin as a neuron cell interpret your reality and send those electrical signals to your brain to regulate your genes. Remember, it's all fractal. You are say this lab and then start a new one. Start a new one. I'm gonna have to say that lab and start a new one. Yeah, we're gonna do a part 2. Y'all, it's gonna be a part 2, so y'all gonna have to, you feel me, stand back for a little bit, because they gonna cut me off with this lab. I can keep going, but they gonna cut the lab off right here. You as a large cell, because microcosm is a macrocosm and macrocosm is a macrocosm, the way all your 50 trillions of cells are translating your environment through the cell membrane, your cell membrane as a cell will be your skin. That would be your skin. And the cell membrane is covered with the IMPs that's bringing in the environmental signals. Your IMPs, your integral membrane proteins, or your receptors will be your 5 senses. Your 5 senses are bringing in electrical signals from your environment. And those electrical signals are being translated to make you warm with your environment. So your cells are being affected by what you see, what you taste, what you hear, what you touch, what you smell, what you observe through all your 5 senses. That's what's being affected by that's what your cells are being affected by. How you perceive your environment. Signal transduction. Signal transduction is the controlling of a cell from signals from your environment. Excuse myself. So signals from your environment are turned into electrical signals through your 5 senses and get interpreted by the brain. The pituitary gland then releases signals into the bloodstream and attacks to the cell membrane. The pituitary gland, the master gland, the pituitary gland, the hypothalamus, and the pineal gland, that's the master gland. They consider that to be the master gland, the diencephalon, because it contains the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland, which is the hormone. This is the gland that takes care of most of the hormones that's ruining your body. Because she teaches that your hormone system is the chakra system. All your chakras are your glands, you feel me? So every gland that you could think of in your body, those are chakras. Pituitary gland, pineal gland, thymus gland, those are all your chakras. So the pituitary gland is releasing hormones from the way that the brain interprets reality, you feel me? So however the brain interprets reality, your hypothalamus is signaling your pituitary gland. And your pituitary gland releases a response to that interpretation from the hypothalamus into your bloodstream. If it's a stressful response, if you're interpreting reality in a stressful way, the pituitary gland is going to release certain stress hormones into your bloodstream. That's then going to attach to the cell membrane. The receptor proteins catch the hormone. The receptor proteins, they catch the signal, the environmental signal. And that environmental signal releases a chemical response to the environment inside of the cell to select and activate different genes to make you warm to an environment. That's signal transduction, the controlling of a cell from signals from your environment. The skin is part of the nervous system. You feel me?
And cells are miniature people. So a lot of people say, well, if cells are miniature people, then are you telling me, Bruce, that my nervous system is connected to my skin, my membrane? The answer is absolutely. If you took embryology, you would know that, because the nervous system is derived from one of the germ layers in the fertilized egg called the ectoderm. And there's only two structures that come from ectoderm: skin and nervous system. So you and the cell are exactly the same. So a cell is a miniature human. And then when you have signals hit your surface, your skin picks up the information, translates it via the nervous system, and controls your biology. So I said, yeah, how do you do that? Well, you have things called receptors: eyes, ears, nose, taste, touch, pain, temperature. All these receptors are built into your skin. That's how you read the environment and how you make a response to that environment.
Understood. So your environment is being translated through your receptors. The way you interpret reality through your five senses. Your five senses are translating your environment, which is controlling your life. Your environment is being translated by all your cells. Your cells are receiving signals from the environment from your senses. Your senses experience, or that's what's experiencing reality. You see something in your environment. You hear something in your environment. You taste something in your environment. And the way you taste it, the way the brain interprets that taste, the way the brain interprets what you see, the way the brain interprets what you hear, is releasing a response to that environmental signal into your bloodstream. And your cells translate that signal to make it one with your environment, because you are a cell. This is the stem cell experiment that Bruce Lipton did. You feel me? This is a stem cell experiment he did where he proved that the fate of a cell is determined by its environment.
Over 40 years ago, I was cloning stem cells, and one of the first experiments that just so blew my mind that it really changed the whole course of my education and my life. I put one stem cell in a culture dish all by itself, and that stem cell divides every 10 to 12 hours. After about a week to 10 days, I have thousands of cells in the petri dish, but what's most important is all these cells are genetically identical to each other. And then what I did, and this is the experiment, I separated a culture of genetically identical cells into 3 different petri dishes, and I changed the environment. But the culture medium to cells is like the world that we live in. It's got the air, the water, the food, all the things in it. So I had 3 different environments, yet genetically identical cells in each dish. And the results reveal that in environment A, the cells form muscle. In environment B, the cells form bone. And in environment C, the cells form fat cells. And what was so profoundly important about this is if you ask the question, what is responsible for controlling the fate of the cells, what the experiment clearly revealed was that all the cells were genetically identical. The only thing that was different from one dish to the other dish was the environment. So while at the time I was teaching medical students the conventional story out of the textbook, the concept of genetic determinism, that genes control our fate and our lives, my experiments revealed a completely different story, and that was, it was the environment that was primarily responsible in shaping the behavior of genetics.
So what he did, he took a group of genetically identical stem cells. That means that it's the same exact cell. What a stem cells, what they able to do, stem cells are able to regenerate any type of tissue, any type of organ, any type of cell. Like it can regenerate any type of part of the body. That's why you're supposed to be able to live on for hundreds of years old. That's facts. That's something fact. You're supposed to be able to live for hundreds of years old, or times around the sun. You feel me? But he divided these group of genetically identical stem cells into 3 different environments. It's the same type of cell. You feel me? But over time, as the hours passed by, they ended up multiplying into 30,000 cells. So he put 10,000 stem cells in one environment, in one petri dish, another 10,000 in the second petri dish, another 10,000 in the third petri dish. Even though they're the same group of genetically identical stem cells, they placed in 3 different environments. So in the first environment, he noticed that even though it's the same group of genetically identical stem cells, since it's inside a different culture medium or different environment, these cells began to form into muscle cells. In the second environment, even though it's the same group of genetically identical stem cells, he noticed that these cells began to form out into, I think he said, bone cells. In the third petri dish, even though it's the same group of genetically identical stem cells, he noticed that they turn into fat cells. So he realized that through this experiment, even though that it started off as the same group of genetically identical stem cells, because they was placed in 3 different environments, the fate of them cells were determined by their culture medium, by their environment. So the petri dish that Bruce Lipton did experiments with is congruent with our environment, with Babylon.
Somebody asked what the video was.
What video?
The one you just played.
That's the stem cell experiment. Go on YouTube and search up stem cell experiment Bruce Lipton. Stem cell experiment Bruce Lipton. But we are cells made of trillions of cells. You feel me? They put us in an environment. That's what the projects was like. TTs. The projects was nothing more than the hood, the trenches. Yeah, the projects was nothing more than a big ass project. You feel me? An experiment that they do. Right now, we in the project. The whole thing's a project. We all in the project. We all in prison. Yeah, we all in the trenches. That's why they spraying us like we some crop, because we cells in the body. You feel me? The same way the fate of those stem cells was controlled by the environment, us as cells, we are being controlled by our environment. You feel me? The reason why we are who we are is because we as cells are subjected to and products of our culture medium, of our environment. That's why you can't heal the same environment that's making you sick. You cannot heal the same environment that's making you sick, because you was born into a zoo. Like Chief says, an animal that's born into a zoo don't know that it's inside of a zoo. It thinks that it's in the natural environment because that's what it was born into. You feel me? But you was raised in the zoo. You was raised in a culture medium. You was raised inside the environment that they made, where they control, where they spraying you like some crop. And your fate, the fate of you is being controlled by that. That's why you not seeing motherfuckers only live to be 50 years old, 50 times around the sun, because of their environment, products of their environment. The environment that we are in is not designed for us to thrive. The environment that we are in is not designed for us to live long. All they do is promote stress. All they do is promote fear. All they do is promote, you got to pay your bills. You got to take your kids to school. You got to make sure that your kids have a good career. You got to make sure that's all they do is promote stress. You can't grow under stress. That's a scientific fact. You cannot grow under stress. And inside this environment, they promote stress 24/7. Look at the news. Look at all the motherfucking, even the celebrities that said too, they misleading y'all. Like, you can't grow inside that type of environment. Your perception of your reality was given to us at birth. Again, an animal born in a zoo don't know that it's in a zoo. You was born into this zoo. You feel me? You was born into this shit. You was raised in this. Your parents was born to this. That's what generational curses are. That's when you gotta tap into astrology at. You feel me? So you can understand what some generational curses are, so you can overcome those generational curses, so you can move on to a more natural environment, so you can thrive in your godhood. Because Chief teaches that feeling is knowing. Yeah, motherfuckers might think that they God, they might got the information that they God, but if you still stuck in that's an environment that's not promoting you to be God, that's promoting you to be a cancer cell, then you're not really gonna feel as that's your God. In order to feel as that's your God, you gotta go into your natural environment, in nature, between the tropical Capricorn and the tropical Cancer. The way you perceive life coming at you activates and deactivates genes within our DNA. The fate of a cell is contingent upon the perception of this environment. How you perceive life coming at you, how you perceive your environment. It's not just the environment. It's how you perceive your environment. It's how you perceive your environment. Because we could all be in our natural environment. We could all be in our natural environment right now. Me and another person could be in our natural environment in nature right now. We could be in motherfucking Jamaica right now. We could be in Costa Rica right now. How I perceive the environment might be like, shit, this beautiful, this heaven. You feel me? I'm away from distractions. I'm in my natural environment. I'm good. You feel me? I feel I'm God. I'm grounded. I'm happy. How this person might perceive the natural environment, they might be like, shit, I don't know about all this. We too far away. Like, we too far away from distractions. It's too peaceful out here. Because she teaches that when you go into nature, it's not no vacation. It's not no resort. When you go into nature, it's gonna be so peaceful that you're gonna be faced with yourself. She teaches that it's a mirror. And when you go into nature, it's gonna face you with yourself. That's how peaceful it's gonna be. So it's the perception of the environment that regulates the genes. Because that's what we write the genes. Because even though they're in their natural environment, if they haven't dealt with their shadows and shit, the way they perceive their natural environment is gonna be in like in a hellish state, in a demonic state. Because she teaches that demons are low vibrational thoughts. You feel me? So it's your perception of the environment. It's not just the environment. Even though the environment plays a very big role, it's the perception of your environment. Because it's your thoughts that control your cells. Your thoughts control the behavior of your cells. You're supposed to be able to heal yourself from any disease. any disease you could think of. You can't even get a disease. That's why we have something called opportunistic organisms. I should have put it on here, but opportunistic organisms. It's scientifically a fact that human beings have traces of every disease within our bloodstream. You think I'm lying? I'm not lying. I'm not lying. That's a scientific fact. Even Bruce Lipton talks about it. Human beings have traces of every disease within our bloodstream. Every disease, every bacteria, every parasite that you could think of. Human beings have traces. If I take a blood sample, if we take a sample of your blood and we test that bitch out, it's going to be traces of every disease inside our bloodstream. It's called opportunistic organisms. These organisms are lying dormant, you feel me, until you become a vibrational match for that organism to manifest in your life. It's when through stress, you become a vibrational match and you become a host. You open yourself up to become a host for that virus, a host for that parasite, a host for that disease, because you're stressing. It starts with the mind. It starts with the mind. You feel me? But you're supposed to be able to rewrite that, because you are God. God can't get no disease. She teaches that no disease can exist inside of God man, inside of alkaline body. You feel me? No disease can exist inside of a God mind. You can't call yourself God if you go to the motherfucking doctor because you believe the doctor's gonna heal you. Nigga, it's your belief in the doctor system that heals you. It's your belief in the doctor that heals you. You supposed to believe in yourself. You feel me? Because you are God. Stop stressing. It's all predestined. The immune system is located in the gut area, in your visceral. This is your visceral right here. This is the gut area right here. This is your visceral. That's where most of the immune system is located, right here. The immune system is the body's way of being protected from viruses and illnesses and sicknesses and bacteria and shit like that. It's the body's way of being protected. And it's all located right here in the gut area, the visceral. The immune system fights against diseases and sicknesses and so on. Stress shuts off the immune system. Facts. Stress decreases intelligence. Stress is the main cause of disease. When you stressing, when the brain interprets reality in a stressful way, when the pituitary gland interprets reality in a stressful way, it sends stress hormones into your bloodstream, to your adrenal gland. Your adrenal gland sends signals to your visceral. It sends signals to your visceral to squeeze the blood vessels. Oh God, when you stress, this is exactly what happens. It sends signals to your visceral to the immune system to get squeezed. And then all the blood right here gets sent out to your arms and to your legs to react on survival mode, off your reflexes. So all of your immune system, the blood gets sent out. So your immune system gets shut down. Now you got motherfuckers stressfully eating. They stay eating stressfully. They eating McDonald's, they eating Snicker bars, they eating Twix bars, Nutty bars. They eating all these different type of GMO foods. You feel me? And their immune system is shut down because they stressing, because the visceral, the blood vessels get squeezed due to stress. Every time you stressing you stressing 24 hours. You feel me? You stress, they got you stressing 24/7. Look at what they promote. You worried about bills, you worried about money, you worried about food. Hey, foxes got dens, birds got nests, but son of man, I got no place to lay his head. You feel me? You're not supposed to be worried about that. The reason why is because when you worry, when you stress, you really decrease your intelligence. Your intelligence gets decreased. You can't think properly because the frontal part of your brain, which is like your whole conscious and the conscious mind, that gets squeezed. The blood right there gets squeezed and sent to the back so you can react off your reflexes. If you got to survive, you don't want to be conscious and think and overthink. No, you want to just react off reflexes, which means that your intelligence will have to be decreased over stress.
Stress is the cause of disease of 90% of the people. So stress interferes with the immune system. Let's go back thousands of years and I say, what was the stress? I say saber-toothed tiger. What happens when the saber-toothed tiger is chasing you? You gotta run like hell. What organs in your body do you use to deal with stress? I go, arms and legs. Well, if I'm gonna need those organs to escape from the tiger, then here's the most important thing. I need to give them energy. Because without energy, muscles aren't gonna work. What provides energy? I say blood. When I perceive stress hormones function is to provide as much blood to my arms and legs as I can get, because I need all of that energy to run away from the tiger. Stress shuts down blood flow to the gut because it's going to make sure the blood goes preferentially to the arms and legs. The immune system uses tremendous amount of energy. Stress hormones shut off the immune system to conserve energy to run away from the tiger. If you're being chased by a saber-toothed tiger, do you want to have consciousness running the show, or do you want to just have reflex reaction carry you away? And the answer is consciousness too slow. Stress hormones shut off that immune system. When I squeeze the blood vessels in the forebrain, it pushes the blood to the hindbrain where reflexes are going to work. We become less intelligent when we're under stress because consciousness is too slow. Historically, the stress response was to be used for a short period of time. 10 minutes, 15 minutes. You escape the tiger, no more stress. What about today? I go, oh, got a little problem here. 24/7, 365 stress. The system was not designed for that. And this excess stress is responsible for up to 90% of disease on this planet, not genes. Genes, less than 1%. If you tell somebody genes cause that, then that gives them, oh, I'm not responsible, the genes did it. I go, no. Because if you feel you're not responsible, you shut off your control. So basically it says, if you're in a stress mode, you shut your system down and growth shut down, that's okay for a very short period. But if it's chronic, you've killed yourself, essentially. Look at today's world. Every time you turn on TV, be afraid. Be very afraid. Go hide in your house. I am getting stress hormones dripping into my system when I read a paper. Go and surf the internet. I go, and what is that doing for you? And I say, it is compromising your health. That's where disease comes from. Cancer is a symptom of you not living in harmony. And therefore, cutting out the cancer, you just get another cancer if you don't change the stress.
So a cell cannot vibrate in this environment. So what's really killing you is stress. The disease itself is not killing you because your thoughts control the behavior of your cells. From your cells control your behavior, but your thoughts control the behavior of your cells. It's not the disease itself that's killing you, it's the stress that's killing you. Because your immune system is supposed to be able to fight against any type of virus or sickness or illness. You feel me? When you stressing all the time, that gets shut down. It's shut down. So you can't fight against nothing because you stressing 24/7. Stop stressing. You don't need to stress. GMO foods, genetically modified organisms. The thing about food, people think that just because they eat the food and just because they eat it and they digest the food, that it's okay that shit. Now they can just live on and live happily ever after. Like it don't have no type of effect on them. That's not true. You feel me? It's the reason why Chief says that food is information. Because all food has information. Any type of food that you think of, all the food that you see has its own genome. All the food that you eat has its own activated genes inside of it. You feel me? That's controlled, that get translated by your cells. It has microRNAs. MicroRNAs are information molecules that get translated by our cells and regulate our genes. So remember, RNAs are pieces of genes. Gene is information. RNA is a piece of that information that gets sent out and read by the cell, read by the ribosome to create amino acids, to create proteins, to create cells, which therefore, you feel me, they shape life. But these RNAs are not no regular type of RNAs. RNAs are information molecules. When you fuck with GMO foods, you fucking with genetically modified information molecules. You fucking with it. You talking about genes inside of the food that's being modified to make you think a certain type of way, to make sure that you're docile, to block you from actually understanding and entering the kingdom, to cause to activate debilitation inside your program, to activate blockages in your program. All food that you eat has its own activated set of genes, has its own activated program, has its own activated set of information. All food that you eat. The genes or information inside GMO foods have been modified to make you think, behave, and look a certain way.
For the longest time, we thought if we just eat food, our digestive system breaks down that food, and the cooking will break down living things, or freezing and all that will neutralize all the aspects of the food so that we could use just the food as building blocks. However, something new is found, and this is about the microRNA. It turns out that the microRNA molecules in the food we eat is picked up by our digestive system and transferred to our own cells and regulates our own genetics. So suddenly it means that what you eat, you become, actually has a scientific foundation to it. It says that we alter our own genetic readout by the food we eat. This study by Bouchereau and Choupeau, we're studying the uptake of microRNAs from rice in diets, an Asian diet. And what they found was that the microRNAs were not broken down in the digestive system. They were picked up intact from the food, transported across the wall of the gut, and then they enter the blood of our biology, our body. Well, this becomes really, really relevant in a world where we are now playing with genetically modified foods, because we're going to be picking up epigenetic microRNAs that we have no knowledge about, that have never really been in our diet or on our planet before. What is the consequence of altering our genetics with unknown microRNAs? Well, we're soon going to find out about that. And here's a very important point about the microRNAs. No matter if you cook the food, you freeze the food, the microRNAs are very small molecules and very stable. And these molecules don't break down. So that you always are getting active genetic regulating molecules from the food you eat. Good idea now to think about what are you eating. And the whole concept really says, for the better world, and the better humanity, and the better health for yourself, we must return back to more natural foods. Eating organic foods whenever possible. Eating foods that are not grown in petrochemical environments, because those chemical informations from the petrochemicals alter the genetic readout, which in turn alters the microRNAs. The food you eat has a profound influence on your biology, your genetics, and your health. And now we find that this is not just an idea like, oh, I really think that happens. Now it's a scientific fact. We know that information molecules from food are picked up by our digestive system, and those molecules enter our bloodstream and then subsequently affect our genetics.
So just because you digest your food don't mean that the molecular information inside that food gets digested. The information inside that food don't get digested. It don't matter if you cook it, it don't matter if you freeze that bitch, the molecular information of the food gets transmitted by your cells to control your behavior. You are what you eat, you are your environment, you are who you hang with, you are what you listening to, you are what you smell. Everything that you perceive, everything that you interpret through your senses, you are it. You feel me? So just because you eating whatever don't mean that, oh yeah, I could just eat this and I could drop my pot and then it's gonna be okay. No, that's the controlling your behavior. It's regulating your whole behavior. That's the aliens. All the aliens are in your food. Teaches that aliens are nanotechnologies, nanoparticles. When you go to the store, motherfuckers go to Walmart. You go to Walmart when you grab that motherfucking cereal box, you grab the Lucky Charms and you turn it over and you read the ingredients and you can't even pronounce them bitches. Those are the unknown foreign entity. That's what an alien is. An alien is an unknown foreign entity. You can't pronounce them ingredients. Those are the GMO foods. Those are the microRNAs. Those are the molecular information. That's the unknown molecular information. Those are unknown. That's unknown molecular information that's being translated by your cells to make you a parasite. It's making you a parasite, to make you an alien, to make you foreign to nature, to make you an alien to nature, to make you a foreign entity to nature. Now, when you consume these foods, you constantly consume these foods, genetically modified foods, genetically modify your mind. You therefore become a genetically modified organism. You're going to be looked at as a cancer cell when nature come through. You're going to be looked at as a virus when nature come through. Because genetically modified organisms make you a genetically modified organism. You feel me? So all the aliens, all the nanotechnologies are inside them ingredients that you can't pronounce in your food. That's what all the aliens are. So organic foods only. Because the organic food has organic molecular information from it. If it's organic, that means it's organically from the earth. See, it teaches that the earth is the sun. That means that the genome inside that organic food, the activated set of genes or information inside that food is coming directly from the source. It's coming directly from the source. And it's activating information inside of your DNA to make you more organic, to put you more in tune with the source. It's talking to you. You eat in life. You eat GMO foods. When you eat GMO foods, you eat in death. You eating aliens, you eating parasites. It's turning you into a parasite. That's why motherfuckers can't even tap in for it. They block from the kingdom. Because them genes small.
Because all creatures use DNA pretty much the same way, genetic engineers have found that if they take a gene from, say, a bacteria cell and insert it into the DNA of an animal or plant cell, that animal or plant cell will then read the new gene and produce the bacterial protein. Engineers have mixed and matched the genes of different organisms to produce many new creatures, including corn that is toxic to insects but supposedly safe for human consumption, tomatoes that last up to twice as long in the grocery store before going bad, and a new form of bacteria that produce the human protein insulin, which we then collect from these bacteria and give to people with diabetes who need extra insulin to survive.
So Monsanto, that's the company that's playing with the GMO foods. That's how they make the GMO food. If you take an apple, a GMO apple, you go to the store, you see that big ass red apple. It's shiny too. That is shiny. It's shiny. It's a big red apple and it's shiny. That is GMO. What they do is they'll take, because remember, all living things are the same DNA. Bacteria, even bacteria, that's a living organism. You feel that's a living organism. It's a bacteria, it's a living organism. So all living things are the same DNA. So they'll take a gene from the bacteria, and then they'll insert it into a gene. They'll combine it with the gene of an apple, a real gene from the apple, and then they'll modify it into a beautiful red apple that lasts for a long ass time. That bitch not gonna rot. Or organic apple is gonna end up rotting. A GMO apple is gonna last a very long time on the shelves. A GMO orange is gonna last a very long time on the shelves. So they'll mix it with a gene from bacteria and combine it with the actual fruit itself to make it a genetic modified organism. Y'all, we going on to quantum physics. This scared y'all. This is one of my favorite sciences. Quantum physics, that's what I'm gonna say. Because I feel like quantum physics just tells you straight out that you God. I feel like, you God. I feel like that's why I like quantum physics heavy. I feel like quantum physics heavy. You feel me? It just tells you that you are God. That's all. Simple. That's what it is. Albert Einstein said, everything is energy. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. Look at the screen in front of you. What do you see? Darkness. A void of emptiness. Welcome to the oneness. Like, this is how life comes into existence. Everything is one. Everything is oneness. Darkness. Before there was any sound, color, shape, or vibration, there was oneness. In the beginning was darkness. This oneness is everything that ever was or ever will be. No beginning and no end. Imagination. All powerful, all knowing, awareness, eternal.
Then, oneness decided it would like to experience a new reality in which it can experience itself subjectively. So, it conjured up a subatomic particle that we named the proton. This proton was the father of thinking, the first thought ever conjured up by oneness. Another seed was introduced, which is the seed or son of the father. We'll name neutron. Now, the son is one with the father proton. This is the beginning of thinking. The next introduction of thinking had to come in the form of motion, vibrations, and energy. Without this motion and energy, the proton and neutron were like dormant, nothing more than a thought without purpose. Then came the introduction of the negative charge that would spark the imagination of the father proton. The negative charge was the elect lady we call electron. This elect lady electron was 1,800 times smaller than the father proton and the son neutron. This electron would spin around the proton and neutron held in orbit by the attraction of the male. But why stop there? Introduce a whole harem of ladies circling and flirting with the male, creating a womb of protection for the seed of the father to reproduce another, just like themselves, over and over again, endlessly. We call this womb the nucleus. This womb will be the room, the birthplace of the neutron sun seed within the womb of the mother. This mother we call matter. This womb of the mother, this room of matter became the nucleus, for it produced the new clay of us. This electron orbits the father and son at the speed of thought, thereby occupying space and conjuring up the illusion of matter from the void of emptiness. Oneness conjured up something. Within this group of the father proton, the son neutron, and the mother electron, the whole of everything was formed. This is the first atom, the beginning of thought. This is the matrix womb. Thought formed. all this energy that glowed as in an electrically charged atom, this glow produced light. Everything in our reality that is able to be thought of comes into existence. We live in a 3D dimensional thought universe.
In the beginning was darkness. In the beginning was the thought, and the thought was with God. And the thought was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things was made by thought. Without thought, nothing that was made will be made. In the beginning was oneness. And then God said it to be light. That was Atum. Every day we wake up, we say Atum. We say Atum, which means welcome back to the light of your mind. So that's what the Big Bang was about. The Big Bang was about in the beginning was darkness, and then you said let there be light. Atum. Atom. Atom. You, who you are, when you zoom in to the essence of what you are, it's just a whole bunch of atoms vibrating. Your cells, DNA. DNA is the molecular blueprint for every living thing. That means that it's a molecule. That means that a molecule is a collection of atoms. Truly what you are is just, you are a whole bunch of collection of atoms vibrating through the law of vibration. The law of vibration says nothing rests. Everything is vibrating on a certain frequency. So everything is atom. All is atom. All is light that comes from darkness. That's why T teaches that light is the illusion of darkness. So quantum physics helps us understand this scientifically, that we come from oneness. You feel me? That we truly don't even exist. You are God. You truly don't even exist for real. Quantum physics is the study of the behavior of light and matter on the atomic and subatomic levels. Atoms are the basic unit of reality, being composed of 99.999% empty space. They call it empty space, but it's really energy. So reality is truly everything you see around you. Your shirt, your car, your house, your phone, the stand, the tripod, everything, you, your body, everything is composed of atoms. The atoms are the basic unit of reality, which is just 99.99% empty space. Everything is empty space. Everything is just energy, frequency, and vibration. Subatomic particles are protons, neutrons, and electrons. The proton represents thought, masculine energy. The electron represents vibration, feminine energy. And the neutron represents balance. That's why Chief teaches that the first being to come into existence. If you go on, you could do your research right now. I should have put up the picture and put it on here, but it's all well because I'm about to forget. The first, in Egyptology, the story of creation. The story of creation, the first being or the first God to create itself out of the primordial waters. That darkness that they talk about in the Bible, in the beginning was darkness, that's called in Egyptology the primordial waters of Nun, the primordial waters of Nunu, the primordial waters of Nun, the nothingness, the void. So the first God to create itself out of that primordial waters, out of the darkness, out of the nothingness, was Atum. And Atum was both male and female in one body. It was hermaphrodite. It got to be a hermaphrodite because look at an atom. Atom, atom. Imagine a group of atoms manifesting themselves from the darkness as a human. Imagine a group of atoms manifesting themselves into a materializing into the shape of a human. The same way it has a proton, which represents masculine energy, and the electron, which represents feminine energy, is going to have masculine and feminine physical traits. A hermaphrodite is going to be a hermaphrodite, atom. All energy is transmitted as waves. Light waves, heat waves, sound waves, etc. All energy around you see behaves as waves. It behaves as waves with potential when you're not observing it. When you're not observing reality, it's just a wave of potential in the quantum field. That same darkness that they call the primordial waters of Nu, in science, that darkness is called the quantum field of infinite possibilities. When it says in the Bible, in the beginning was darkness, and then God said it would be light. That darkness, scientifically, is called the quantum field of infinite possibilities. You go right back into that darkness every time you go to sleep at nighttime. Every time you go to sleep at nighttime, you are God, you go back into the darkness. This is why we say Nunu. We say Nunu when we go to sleep at nighttime, when it's time to take it down. We say Nunu, because it's a subconscious reminder, like she teaches, that we going right back into that primordial waters of Nu, just so we can say, let there be light. And now we in a dream. You feel me? You are God. You say, let there be light every time you wake up and every time you go to sleep and have a dream. Your observation collapses the wave into a particle. So when you're not observing reality, it just behaves as a wave potential in the quantum field. You feel me? When you're not observing reality. Once you observe reality, that wave of potential collapses and it materializes into a particle. This is the double slit experiment. You feel me? Now this experiment basically breaks down how like that scientifically proves that reality behaves as waves of potential when it's not being observed, and it behaves as a particle when it is being observed. He shot some electrons. He shot matter through a double slit, and he noticed that it formed wave patterns. It formed patterns of waves. It behaved just like a wave pattern when it wasn't being observed. When this matter got shot through a double slit and it was being observed, it behaved just like a particle, as if it knew it was being observed. So when you are observing reality, it behaves as a particle. Reality behaves as a particle, as if it knows it's being observed. When reality is not being observed, it behaves as a wave of potential. I'm gonna have to let this video ride out. It's a 5-minute video. I can't press pause on the video, so y'all gonna have to bear with me.
The infamous double slit experiment. To understand this experiment, we first need to see how particles, or little balls of matter, act. If we randomly shoot a small object, say a marble, at the screen, we see a pattern on the back wall where they went through the slit and hit. Now, if we add a second slit, we would expect to see a second band duplicated to the right. Now, let's look at waves. The waves hit the slit and radiate out, striking the back wall with the most intensity directly in line with the slit. The line of brightness on the back screen shows that intensity. This is similar to the line the marbles make. But when we add the second slit, something different happens. If the top of one wave meets the bottom of another wave, they cancel each other out. So now there is an interference pattern on the back wall. Places where the two tops meet are the highest intensity, the bright lines, and where they cancel, there is nothing. So, when we throw things, that is, matter, through two slits, we get this, two bands of hits. And with waves, we get an interference pattern of many bands. Good so far. Now, let's go quantum. An electron is a tiny, tiny bit of matter, like a tiny marble. Let's fire a stream through one slit. It behaves just like the marble, single band. So, if we shoot these tiny bits through two slits, we should get, like the marbles, two bands. What? An interference pattern. We fired electrons, tiny bits of matter through. We get a pattern like waves, not like little marbles. How? How can pieces of matter create an interference pattern like a wave? It doesn't make sense. But physicists are clever. They thought maybe those little balls are bouncing off each other and creating that pattern. So they decide to shoot electrons through one at a time. There is no way they can interfere with each other. But after an hour of this, the same interference pattern has seemed to emerge. The conclusion is inescapable. The single electron leaves as a particle, becomes a wave of potentials, goes through both slits, and interferes with itself to hit the wall like a particle. But mathematically, it's even stranger. It goes through both slits and it goes through neither. And it goes through just one and it goes through just the other. All of these possibilities are in superposition with each other. But physicists were completely baffled by this. So they decided to peek and see which slit it actually goes through. They put a measuring device by one slit to see which one it went through and let it fly. But the quantum world is far more mysterious than they could have imagined. When they observed, the electron went back to behaving like a little marble. It produced a pattern of two bands. not an interference pattern of any. The very act of measuring or observing which slit it went through meant it only went through one, not both. The electron decided to act differently, as though it was aware it was being watched. It was here that physicists stepped forever into the strange, netherworld of quantum events. What does matter? Particles or waves? And waves of what? And what does an observer have to do with any of this? The observer collapsed the wave function simply by observing.
So through that experiment is called the double slit experiment. With that experiment, what he came to the conclusion was that when he saw the electrons or energy, the electrons will be the same as energy or reality. He noticed that the electrons, when it wasn't being observed, it was having the same pattern as the waves. It was behaving just like the waves. But when the electron was being observed, it was behaving just like the particle. It was behaving like a particle. So when reality is not being observed, it's just a wave of potential in the quantum field of infinite possibilities. It behaves as wave of potential. If you can't observe something with your five senses, it's just a wave of potential. Once you observe something, you collapse that wave of potential and it becomes a particle. Your observation brings reality into existence. The holographic universe. The holographic universe scientifically proves that the whole universe is mental. The whole universe is inside of your mind. You think that you in your house, you think that you in your car, you think that you hold your phone, you think that you can look at your body, that you in this bitch, but your body is inside of your mind. The house that you in, the room that we in right now, this room that we in right now is inside of your mind. Each and every one of you live in your own dimension. Each and every one of us live in our own universe like CTs. I'm just a parallel universe version of you. I'm you in a parallel universe. I'm you in another dimension. Your whole reality is taking place in the back of the brain. It's called the visual cortex. Visual cortex right here. This is where the whole reality takes place. All the beautiful colors that you see in nature, all the beautiful colors that you see, all the people that you see, all the sounds that you hear, everything is taking place right here in the back of the brain, visual cortex. Light particles from your reality get reflected through your retina, sent to an optical nerve, converted to electrical signals, and then sent to the back of the brain where your reality is being interpreted. Now, the moment you open your eyes and see the light photons from your reality, because remember, everything is light. Everything is light. All these different light forms. The phone holds light. This remote holds light because it's made of atoms. Remember, atoms are the basic unit of all matter. Atoms hold energy. Energy is consciousness. You feel me? So everything holds consciousness. It's light. Light is consciousness, like T teaches. So as soon as you open your eyes, as soon as you hear something, all the light photons from your reality, the bird right here, that's the reality. This is all light. As soon as the person's eyes open, the light photons get reflected to the retina. At the back of the eye is an optical wire. It's an optical nerve. This optical nerve connects the eye to the brain to allow the electrical signals to travel to the back of the brain so the brain can interpret the electrical signals to project the bird. So the brain is projecting the bird. It's not receiving. You're not seeing. You're not receiving reality. You're projecting reality. Reality is a projection of your brain. Your brain is projecting reality. We are being projected here holographically. It's holographically. You feel me? Life is a hologram. It's a hologram. It's a simulation. The brain is a computer for DNA. The brain is encased in darkness. That makes it in your skull. It's encased in complete darkness. It's encased in complete darkness, but it's still telling your five senses what they're experiencing in the outside world. How is it doing it? Because it's working in harmony with your DNA. Your brain is part of your body. Your body is the brain. You feel me? Like Chief teaches, the reason why you have a body is to carry around your brain. So the body is the brain. So the brain or the body will be the hardware because you are an organic device. Like Chief teaches, we're organic computers, we're organic devices. So the brain or the body will be the hardware. Your DNA will be the software. Your genetic program is going to be the software or the program that the hardware is computing. The brain is computing the DNA. is working in harmony with the DNA to interpret these electrical signals from reality to project it. Beat. I'm sorry. Life is a dream. You live in your mind. I'm about to press next on the remote. This video, I'm gonna have to let this video, you feel me? It's a short video, but bear with me.
Everything we see, touch, hear, and perceive is matter. The world, or the universe, is only electrical signals in our brain.
Thanks again.
For instance, we see a bird in the external world. In reality, this bird is not in the external world, but in our brain. The light particles reflecting from the bird reach our eye, and there they are converted into electrical signals. These signals are transmitted by neurons to the center of vision in the brain. The bird we see is in fact the electric signals in our brain. If the sight nerves traveling to the brain were disconnected, the image of the bird would suddenly disappear. In the same manner, the bird sounds we hear are also in our brain. If the nerve traveling from the ear to the brain was disconnected, there would be no sound left. Put simply, the bird, the shape of which we see, and the sound of which we hear, is nothing but the brain's interpretation of electrical signals. Someone who watches the stars in the sky assumes that they are millions of light years away from him. Yet the stars are right inside himself, and the center of vision of his brain.
That's why you got astrology, your birth chart. This one say get deep right here. She gonna get deep right here.
While you watch this film, you are in truth not inside the room you assume yourself to be in. On the contrary, the room is inside you. Your seeing your body makes you think that you are inside of it. However, you must remember that your body too is an image formed inside your brain.
Well, that's it right here. That's it right here. This is science. This is science. You live in your mind. Everything is mental. You're in your mind. There's not no hocus pocus and none of that too. This real fight. This real scientific facts. How many minutes on the like?
For you, reality is all that can be touched with the hand and seen with the eye. In your dreams, you can also touch with your hand and see with your eye. But in reality, you have neither hand nor eye, nor is there anything that can be touched or seen. Taking what you perceive in your dream to be material realities, you are simply deceived.
Life is a dream. This scientific facts. We dream right now.
For example, a person deeply asleep in his bed may see himself in an entirely different world in his dream. He may dream that he is a pilot and command a giant airplane, and even spend a great effort to command the plane. In fact, this person has not taken even one step away from his bed. In his dreams, he may visit different settings and meet with friends, have a chat with them, eat and drink together. It is only when the person awakes from his dream that he realizes all were only perceptions. If we are able to live easily in an unreal world during our dreams, the same thing can equally be true for the world we live in. When we wake up from a dream, there is no logical reason for not thinking that we have entered a longer dream that we call real life. The reason we consider our dream to be fancy and the world is real is nothing but a product of our habits and prejudices.
That's what say get deep. Life is a dream. The same way this reality works is the same way your dream works. The same way you observe reality through your 5 senses in this reality, you also have 5 senses in your dreams. And you observe your dreams through your 5 senses in their reality. The only thing that pulls you back from your dreams to make you think that your dream is a dream and that this is real life is your attachments. That's why the Buddha said the root to all suffering is what? Attachments. You feel me? Because the only way out is in through the imagination. What they call the dreams, you feel me? The only way out is in through the imagination. But you hold it on to your attachments too much. You so attached to your habits. You can talk about that. I'm on that. You hold it on to your attachments too much. You feel me? You hold it on to your habits too much. Your habits is pulling you back. It's keeping you focused into this reality. And it's distracting you and pulling you away from the dream world. You feel me? Your attachments and your habits is pulling you back from your dream world to make you think that this is the real life. This is just a dream. You dream right now. Life is a dream. You don't even exist. You don't even exist. You dreaming right now. Life is a dream. You are imagining reality. Reality is a figment of your imagination. You think reality actually has an actual existence, but truly it's just energy vibrating. It doesn't have an actual existence. Reality is a figment of your imagination, like thesis. A figment is something that you believe to have an actual existence, but the only place it exists is within your imagination. So reality is not real. You believe it to have an actual existence outside of you. But like the video just said, you think that you're sitting on the couch. You think that there's your body, that you think that you're sitting on your couch. But truly, the body is in your mind. The couch is in your mind. You think that you're in a room, but truly the room is inside of your mind. You think that you're in a car, but truly the car is inside of your mind. The world, the whole world. You think that you're in the world. You think that you're walking around in the world, but truly the world is inside of your mind. Everything that you see, everything that you hear, everything that you taste, everything that you touch, smell, feel, see, it's all electrical signals inside of your brain. Reality stems from my senses. Without my senses, there is no existence. That's why T said you are the observer, you are the source of your reality. Because you are God, nigga, you are God. And you bring reality into existence through your observation. In the video it said, if you was to cut off that optical wire, right? So then remember that optical nerve, that optical wire is what connects your eye to your brain. If you was to cut that optical wire, you wouldn't be able to see nothing. That's why you have people that's blind. Or you have people that they got blurry vision because that optical wire was damaged. People that's blind, that shit cut off. You feel me? So if you was to shut off all 5 of your senses, reality will no longer exist. You bring reality into existence through your 5 senses. Remember that. You are God. Nothing can exist beyond your observation. Nothing beyond your observation exists. If you can't see it, if you can't taste it, if you can't touch it, if you can't hear it, if you can't smell it, it don't exist. That's a scientific fact. It's not no regular talk. It's real facts. Reality is a simulation. If you cannot observe something, it doesn't exist. It is just a wave of potential. The observer is not separate from the observation. Everything you observe is inside of you. The creator is not separate from the creation. You are not separate from God. You are not separate from it. If we are a figure of God's imagination, that means that we are God, because reality is a figure of your imagination. And you are not separate from your reality. The observer is not separate from the observation. That's the observer's effect. Everything you see is inside of you. It's all mental. That's the first Hermetic principle. That's the first Hermetic law. The law of mentalism. All is mental. The whole universe is in your mind. All these different people that you see are what? That's why we say peace reflection. Peace reflection, peace to the gods, peace reflection, peace reflection. Because all these different people that you see, you look at the people outside of you, you look at the people, and the people are just light particles. Remember, all the people that you look at, you got to apply this in every second we all say it. All the different people that you look at are just light beings. They're beings of light. And these light photons from this being are being reflected to your retina, sent through the optical nerve, interpreted by your brain, and projected. This being is a projection of your brain. It's a projection of you. This being that you see is in your mind. That's your reflection. Everything is your reflection. That's why people are different aspects of you. People won't come into your life either to give you a blessing or a lesson. They're going to come into your life to show you something about yourself. It's all different aspects of you. You feel me? You can't run away from you. Your aspects are your demons. Your aspects are your genes. Your demons are in your aspects. You feel me? So these people, after you face the demons with yourself, you got your reflexes that's gonna pop up. You feel me? And your demons gonna pop up externally. You feel me? These are your reflexes. These people are you. People are you. Everybody and everything is you. You are the Most High. There is no Most High outside of your observation. You are the only thing in existence. Reality stems from your five senses. Life is holographic. Reality is contingent upon your astrological program. Your brain is computing your DNA to project reality. Your brain is encased in complete darkness. The Most High Chief Baba teaches that astrology is biology. Biology is astrology. Okay. So I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna have to end the lab again, and then start another lab. I'm almost done with the presentation. I'm almost done. But T teaches that astrology is biology. Biology is astrology. So your genetic program is your astrological program. So your brain is encased in complete darkness inside your skull. Your brain being encased in complete darkness inside your skull, how is your brain interpreting the light photon from reality and projecting it? How is your brain doing it? Because she teaches that your brain is a computer for your DNA. Your brain is computing your astrological program to project reality. Everything that you experience in reality is a projection of your astrological program. Everything. You live in your program. Reality is your program. Everything you experience in reality is part of your aspect. It's part of your program. It's your program. You live in your mind. You can't run from your mind. You live in your mind. It's your astrological program. Everything you experience was already written. It's a program. It's already scripted. If the brain is computing your genetic program, that means that the brain is computing a program to present reality. Reality is a projection of a program. We can read your program. We can read your program. We can read your reality. We can read what you've been through in your childhood. We can read what you're about to go through. We can read your doubts. We can read your fears. We can read how you think and how you process information. We can read all that, how you take action. It's astrology. That's why Chief interconnected all of that sciences to prove to you that you are God. Astrology. Reality is contingent upon your astrological program. The past, present, and future exist simultaneously. Remember, nothing beyond your observation exists. Though nothing exists beyond your observation. The past don't exist, and the future don't exist. The only thing that exists is the present moment. It's the present moment, because it's the observer's effect. If you can't observe it with your five senses through the double split experiment, like we just showed you, it's just a wave of potential. Energy behaves as waves of potential when it's not being observed. It's just waves of potentiality. Once you observe, that wave function collapses. Once you observe. But you can't observe the future. You're not observing the future, or you're not observing the past. So that means that it's just waves of potentiality. The past, present, and future exist right here, right now. The only thing that exists is everything that you're observing right here. Everything outside of this, everything outside of your observation, does not exist. It's a wave of potential. Now, this is going to show you how life really works like a game. You feel me? GTA. You feel me? Y'all play GTA. I know y'all know about GTA. Life is really a game for real. You started? So it cut off, but we're going to start back again, you know. This video right here going to prove to you, it's going to break down how life works like a video game through the observer's effect. Nothing beyond your observation exists. Everything going on inside the other room don't exist. Anything with anybody inside that room don't exist. Anybody inside that room do not exist. Anybody inside your living room don't exist because you can't observe them, you can't smell them, you can't taste them, you can't hear them, you can't see them, so they don't exist. It's just a wave of potential. Anything going on inside that room is absolutely nothingness. There's nothing going on over there. Don't nobody exists over there.
Evidence of our virtuality. Grand Theft Auto 5, also known as GTA 5, is a very good example of how all this could be accomplished. In the game, on one of the many streets of its virtual city called Los Santos, you see a very familiar picture. You are surrounded by cars that are hurrying to and fro somewhere into the distance, and crowds of people line the sidewalks. In general, everything's very similar to how it is in real life. And in the game, this general picture accompanies you everywhere, all the time, regardless of your location in Los Santos. If you turn a corner, you see more cars and more crowds of passers-by. So, being on that Los Santos street, you might think that the same story is happening to others, that life is alive and happening in the whole city at any point in the urban landscape. But, in fact, this is simply not true. You must not forget that everything you see is just an illusion, built just for you. While you are on the street with the conditional name A, absolute nothingness has filled street B. Nothing happens there. The game continuously, magically draws for you this living, active life, while street B drowns in silence. And, in fact, barely exists. When you are absent from a certain location of a virtual city, there is absolutely nothing at this location. No people, no cars, no city itself. The developers optimize the game in order to reduce the load on the computer hardware. Thanks to this, you can enjoy such incredibly realistic graphics and in-game physics that are the modern masterpieces of the gaming industry. If a player, or rather a character, turns and looks at something, the computer makes the image in front of him as detailed as possible, and the textures and objects behind the player's back, that is, out of view, become as simple as computationally possible, or really disappear.
Hey, disappear. That's you. Oh God, look, that's you. Hey, that's you. No matter where you go, no matter where you are, no matter who around you, this is you. Anything that's outside of your observation is nothingness. It don't exist. It's just waves in a quantum field. This is all a quantum field. So everything past your observation through your five senses is just waves of potential in a quantum field. The only thing that exists is what you're observing now. Is where attention goes, energy flows. So where attention is not going, where you can observe it. So how you gonna give it attention? You can't observe with your five senses, so it don't exist. It's just like a video game. Life is quantum. This should do not exist. You are God. You are the source of your whole existence. You feel me? You are the observer, which means that you are the creator. The creator is the observer, but you are not separate from your observation. Everything is you on different aspects of you, different frequencies of you, different reflections of you. Next is melanin. We almost done with it. But hey, we in tune with the present moment. Time don't exist. I just put it to you right that time don't exist. The only time that exists is now. You feel me? So we flowing right now. Melanin. When you hear people talk about melanin, you gotta make sure that they being specific on what they talking about. Because the Most High Chimabazi teaches that it's 3 different types of melanin. You feel me? You got U-melanin, which is the dark brown pigmentation that's found throughout the skin, hair, eyes. You got pheomelanin, which is the yellow reddish pigmentation found in red hair and freckles. Then you got neuromelanin, which is the melanin found all throughout the nervous system and brain. Your neuromelanin is responsible for how conscious you are. That's your astrological program. Your neuromelanin, like she teaches, that's the brain's melanin. That's the brain's melanin. That's what allows you to be able to tap into a higher consciousness. Your neuromelanin is your DNA. That's why she connected all the five sciences. Melanin to astrology. You feel melanin to quantum physics. Connect all the five sciences to show you how you are God. So your neuromelanin is different from you-melanin. You might hear people say that the pigment on your skin is neuromelanin. That's not true. You feel me? Your neuromelanin is the brain's neuromelanin. Neuromelanin that is the melanin found throughout your nervous system. That's what enables you to tap into a higher consciousness. So it don't matter how much melanin you have if you don't have the proper neuromelanin or astrological program that activates you to be able to reach that higher consciousness. You feel me? There is only one race of people. All of humanity originates from the melanated man, woman. All humans are different shades of brown or melanin. Facts. Now this video right here gonna prove to you that all humans are different shades of brown and melanin. And we all, no matter who you are, no matter what race you think you are, no matter what skin color you think you are, we all originated from Africa. We all come from Africa. Everybody is melanated. The Most High Chimabazi teaches that melanin is a force of the universe. It's the force of the universe. When you go outside at nighttime and you look up in the sky and you see that dark matter, that's melanin. So that's the universe manifested itself in human form.
There was a magic moment in this research. When I got back the results that showed that the number and the size and the amount of pigment in light-skinned zebrafish were all diminished. And the same thing happened in humans. When I opened the textbook and saw that same thing, I began to sweat. Not only did light-skinned people evolve from black-skinned people, but lighter-skinned people, whether they're European or whether they're Asian, like me, were actually mutants of the dark-skinned people.
This was remarkable because we had only inferred on the basis of circumstantial evidence that this must have occurred in evolution, but we didn't have any concrete genetic evidence. Now we do.
That's scientific facts. It's not just niggas talking out their neck or trying to do none of that. That's scientific facts. Any other race of people that you see in the world all originated from the melanated man and woman. Melanocyte stimulating hormone. Yeah, you black, but do you know why you are black? Do you know what makes you black? She teaches that you are black because of your hormone. Your pituitary gland is constantly vibrating. That's why she teaches that your chakras are your glands. Your pituitary gland is constantly vibrating and producing this hormone called MSH. You're black because of a hormone called MSH, melanocyte stimulating hormone, which allows the body to produce melanin. The pituitary gland is constantly releasing this hormone to make sure that you stay black. You feel me? And it's stimulated by sunlight. The pituitary gland is stimulated by sunlight. Sunlight is what feeds your melanin. Your melanin is being fed by sunlight, but not just any type of sunlight. The proper amount of sunlight, the proper type of sunlight. Melanocytes are melanin-forming cells, especially found in your skin. Those are the skin cells that the melanin skin cells called melanocytes. A melanosome is an organelle in a melanocyte that stores melanin. So melanosomes are organelles. You feel me? An organelle is like an organ of a cell. How you have organs, an organelle is an organ of a cell. Organelle, organ cell, or organ inside a cell. The gene responsible for the activation of melanin is MC1R gene. So it's an actual gene that's activated to make sure that the melanin is being produced, to make sure that the proper amount of melanin is being activated. It's called the MC1R gene. She teaches that melanin is like a SIM card in a phone. The closer the phone or the body is to a tower or the sun, the faster the connection will be to receive the universal updates. So just like your phone, right? The body is an organic device, remember. Just like your phone, you got your phone. The phone has a SIM card. The closer the phone is to its cell tower, then the SIM card will be activated for the phone to receive the new notifications and the new messages and all that. The farther away it is from the cell tower, it's not going to get no signal. You're not going to be receiving the notifications and messages. Your body is an organic phone. Your melanin, like T teaches, is like the SIM card. The cell tower will be the sun. So the closer you are to the sun, because remember, you are the sun. The sun is your soul. The soul is the mind. The soul is the sun. You are the sun. Your soul is the sun. So you got to be closer to what you are. So the closer your body is to the sun, then the melanin will be activated for the phone or the body to receive new universal updates, new universal messages. The farther away the body is from the sun, then the melanin or the SIM card won't be getting the universal updates that it's supposed to be getting. The more melanin we have, the more deeper our connection to what we are is, or what will be. That's why Chief interconnected melanin to quantum physics. Because the more melanin you have, the more of an ability you'll have to feel and experience your holographic universe, your holographic projection. You feel me? If you have the proper amount of neuromelanin, because eumelanin, like T teaches, eumelanin without neuromelanin is useless. You need to heal your DNA. Chief said, therefore, when we heal our DNA, we become enlightened. DNA is the cosmic records. That's where all information is stored. That's where all information comes from. All you need to do is clean your melanin and tap into nature. The fast and shortest road to all knowledge of truth is nature. You just need to tap into nature and tap into your natural environment. They took you out of your natural environment. That's why Charles Manson said in nature, in your natural environment, in the jungle, he was God. But they took you out of your natural environment.
One of the many genes that genetic detectives have linked to human pigmentation is called MC1R. Sampling from around the world indicates there's a fair amount of variation in the DNA sequence of that gene, but not from every corner of the globe.
When we look at MC1R within African populations, we don't see a lot of diversity. And the particular allele that they have in those African populations is the one that codes for darker skin. MC1R codes for a protein which is involved in the switch from the production of pheomelanin to eumelanin. And we know pheomelanin is the reddish-yellow pigment, and then the eumelanin is the brown-black pigment.
The absence of MC1R diversity in African populations indicates that, in that part of the world, there is strong negative selection against any alleles that would alter dark skin. And how long has this allele been fixed in African populations? Other genetic studies have calculated that it has been as much as 1.2 million years. Since our species evolved in equatorial Africa, it's reasonable to conclude that by that time all humans were dark-skinned. The fossil record supports what we've gleaned from genetic evidence. But here's where we confront what was for me the heart of the mystery. The evolution of dark skin in humans suggests that under strong UV light, that trait provided a survival advantage. So what exactly was that advantage? It's certainly true UV damage to skin cell DNA can lead to cancer, and skin cancer can be fatal. For a long time, that seemed the likeliest explanation. Except, skin cancer generally develops after a person's peak reproductive years. For that reason, though it might cut your life short, it's unlikely to affect your ability to pass on your genes.
So your melanin acts as a natural sunscreen for the sunlight. You don't need to put on all that extra shit. You feel me? You got melanin. All you gotta do is just make sure that your DNA is healed. Make sure that the toxins inside your body are cleansed. Because it don't matter how dark you think you are, you still gonna get burned by the sun if you got a lot of toxins in your body. Because that's what the sun does. It detoxes you. You feel me? It detoxifies you. It cleanses you. You feel me? So it's a natural sunscreen for the sun. Now it says right here that melanin is not being sold on the stock market. Despite all that, today, melanin is worth over $445 a gram. How is it not being sold on the stock market? What's our price like this? At that rate, melanin is worth $395 a gram more than gold. Now look, melanin is worth over $445 a gram. Gold is only $75 a gram. Gold is only $75 a gram and 10 cents. What makes melanin so special to be priced this much more than gold? She teaches that melanin is a super semiconductor. This is the reason why it's priced more than gold. Melanin is a super semiconductor, meaning that it's able to communicate with light, heat, and electricity indirectly. It's able to talk. It's able to talk. Your pigmentation could talk. It's able to talk and tell your cells what to do. It tells your cells what to do. Your melanin is in communication with your cells. It tells your cells what to do. It tells your cells what to continue performing mitosis. It tells your cells when to stop performing mitosis. Mitosis is when cells divide. So it tells your cells when to stop doing that. It's a super intelligence. It's a super semiconductor. It's able to communicate. That's what allows the universe to communicate with itself and experience itself. Melanin is a power source / solar panel in which amplifies who you are to yourself. Whatever type of individual you are, if you have high amounts of melanin, that's going to be amplified. It's going to amplify you to yourself. If you are an ignorant person with high amounts of melanin, that ignorance is going to be heightened to make you super ignorant. If you are a demon with high amounts of melanin, then that melanin is going to amplify you to be a motherfucking super devil. If you are intelligent with high amounts of melanin, your melanin is going to activate you to be a genius. This means that you're going to start streaming information from your genes. Genetic information. All information comes from genes. So you become a genius once you start streaming information from your genes. So if you are intelligent, your melanin is going to amplify you to be a genius. The reason why is because melanin is able to absorb the whole entire light spectrum. 1,000 times more sunlight than chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is what makes plants green. So you are already vibrating on a higher frequency than the plant. You absorb the whole light spectrum. So he teaches that light is consciousness. You feel me? It says right here. The study points to a new way of interfacing conventional electronics to biological systems using a combination of ion and electron conducting biomaterials such as melanin. This is a real article. This is not no game. This is a real article. Melanin is able to talk. Melanin is able to talk to both electronic and ionic control circuitry, and hence can provide that convection role. It's able to talk to electronic and ionic control circuitry. That's why the military is using it in their weapons. The military is using melanin inside their technology and their weapons because it's able to talk. It's a super semiconductor that can communicate with light, heat, and electricity and directly. That's why it's worth more than gold, because they're using it inside the technology. They're using it inside their weapons. They know what's going on. They study you. They study you. They study you. They do experiments on you. Melanin is a biological living light that acts as a super semiconductor, allowing the universe to communicate with itself subjectively. So he teaches that you are the universe. You are the universe. You feel me? It don't matter who you think you are, what type of person you are. You are the universe experiencing itself subjectively on a certain frequency of light, on a certain frequency of melanin. You are the universe. So melanin is what allows the universe to talk to itself and communicate with itself and experience itself. It's that super semiconductor. It's able to talk. That's why it's worth more than gold. You walking around with billions and billions of dollars worth of melanin in your body, and you want to bleach your skin, and you want to dye your hair. You want to dye your hair? Why? Your hair has melanin in it. TT, your hair, it's a whole technology behind your hair. You feel me? You manifest through your hair because your thoughts come through your hair and leak inside your EMF to allow you to manifest reality more quickly. Your hair is in communication with your environment. It's receiving light and it's also emitting light. You feel me? But once you dye your hair, that whole technology dies. Your hair dies. Like your shit dead now. It don't matter how, you feel me? The technology of your hair, the purpose of you having your hair, which is an extension of your nervous system, is dead because you stripped away that melanin. You're not supposed to be doing that. Melanin, your hair has a natural intelligence. You have real gold in your hair. You walking around with something worth more than gold in your hair. And you want to dye yours. You can't even do that, God. You can't do that. You destroying your melanin. All humans are melanated. Melanin is the force of the universe. Melanin, that's what it is. All humans are melanated. Chief teaches that us being over here in the Northern Hemisphere, in America, you feel me, the United States, Canada, or wherever, in the Northern Hemisphere, it's not our natural environment. Even though it gets hot outside during summertime, it gets hot. It's 3 different types of sunlight. You got UVA radiation, you got UVB sunlight, and you got UVC sunlight. They blowing that with the sun? On fire with it. And yeah, it's 3 different types of sunlight, you feel me? So over here in the Northern Hemisphere, we over here in the Northern Hemisphere. The only type of sunlight we go over here is UVA. We don't get no UVB. Look, this UVB. UVA is all up here in the Northern Hemisphere. That's where we at. UVA causes skin cancer and damages our DNA. So us being over here in the Northern Hemisphere, this is not our natural environment because the type of sunlight that we receiving is sending out signals to self-destruct. It's causing skin cancer and damages your DNA. The type of sunlight that we do need to make sure that our bones get strong and our bones get made and the blood, because she teaches that you are the sun and blood break and bone form. UVB radiation hits our skin, converts to steroid hormone D, which builds bones, which produces blood, which carries oxygen throughout the body. It's called the hemoglobin in the red blood cells, you feel me? But sunlight, natural sunlight, hormone D, UVB, vitamin D is really a hormone. It's called steroid hormone D, and it's communicating with your cells. The sun is actually talking to your cells. UVB, steroid hormone D, talks to mutated cells and gives them instructions to either repair the DNA or self-destruct. You are the sun. The sun is your mind. Your soul is the sun. So you belong closer to the equator with UVB radiation. Equinox is at the equator. You belong closer to the equinox, closer to the equator, where the UVB radiation is just abundant right there. It's all abundant right there. That's where you're going to go to heal. You can't heal in the same environment that's making you sick. Remember, we all cells in the body. You can't heal in the same environment that's making you sick. A cell cannot vibrate any higher than this environment. You can't vibrate any higher inside that environment with a sun that's sending out signals to self-destruct. It's barely any UVB radiation getting out over here in the Northern Hemisphere. We getting all UVA. UVC radiation don't even make it past the Earth's atmosphere because it's the most energetic form of sunlight. What we need to feed our melanin to make sure that we're receiving the proper updates is UVB radiation. UVB radiation. That's only found between the tropic Capricorn and the tropic Cancer in the tropics. The tropics is not just a vacation area, a resort area. That's where you're supposed to be living. That's your natural environment. That's not just look, it look like Jamaica. Whoa. That's where you're supposed to be. That's your natural environment. That's where you're supposed to be living. Y'all, I'm gonna have to let this video right out too, so y'all gonna have to bear with me. It's not a long video, it's only like 2 minutes, but y'all gonna have to, you feel me? It's some very valuable information in here. Nina Jablonski is some very valuable information here. She's gonna break it down how and why we belong closer to the equator, closer in the tropics. We belong in the tropics. Especially the more melanin you have, you don't belong inside the environment where it's cold. You inside the environment where it's cold, you going through it mentally. Why you think there's niggas angry? Niggas angry in New York, niggas killing each other in New York, Chicago, Ohio, you feel me, all over Atlanta too. Shit, it's not enough over here. It's not enough over here. Shit, it's hot, but shit, it's not enough. Shit.
The earliest humans evolved in high UV environments in equatorial Africa. The earliest members of our lineage, the genus Homo, were darkly pigmented. And we all share this incredible heritage of having originally been darkly pigmented 2 million to 1.5 million years ago. Let's first look at the relationship of ultraviolet radiation to the Earth's surface. In those early days of our evolution, living at the equator, we were bombarded by high levels of ultraviolet radiation. The UVC, the most energetic type, was occluded by the Earth's atmosphere, but UVB and UVA especially came in unimpeded. UVB turns out to be incredibly important. It's very destructive, but it also catalyzes the production of vitamin D in the skin. Vitamin D being a molecule that we very much need for our strong bones, the health of our immune system, and myriad other important functions in our bodies. So living at the equator, we got lots and lots of ultraviolet radiation, and the melanin, this wonderful, complex, ancient polymer compound in our skin, served as a superb natural sunscreen. This polymer is amazing because it's present in so many different organisms. Melanin in various forms has probably been on the Earth 1 billion years and has been recruited over and over again by evolution, as often happens. Why change it if it works? So melanin was recruited in our lineage, and specifically in our earliest ancestors evolving in Africa, to be a natural sunscreen, where it protected the body against the depredations of ultraviolet radiation, the destruction or damage to DNA, and the breakdown of a very important molecule called folate, which helps to fuel cell production and reproduction in the body. So it's wonderful. We evolved this very protective, wonderful covering of melanin, but then we moved. When humans dispersed into these latitudes, what did they face? Well, conditions were significantly colder, but they were also less intense with respect to the ultraviolet regime. So if we're somewhere in the northern hemisphere, look at what's happening to the ultraviolet radiation. We're still getting a dose of UVA, but all of the UVB, or nearly...
Welcome back, Reflexes. Welcome back. We had some technical difficulties, some malfunctions, but you know, we're gonna get right, So, you know, repetition is part of self-mastery, so I'm gonna have to repeat this video one more time for y'all. Cause you gotta listen, you gotta fully listen to the video, cause everything she's saying in the video, you need to know in the video. Y'all gotta know the video. Y'all really should be writing bullet points on everything she's saying, cause it's real life shit that she's teaching you. Everything she's saying, she's been saying for years. Everything that she's saying. It's just like she said, people not gonna fully tap in until the white people start talking. Once they start talking knowledge, that's when everybody gonna start tapping in. Oh well.
The earliest humans evolved in high UV environments in equatorial Africa. The earliest members of our lineage, the genus Homo, were darkly pigmented. And we all share this incredible heritage of having originally been darkly pigmented 2 million to 1.5 million years ago. Let's first look at the relationship of ultraviolet radiation to the Earth's surface. In those early days of our evolution, living at the equator, we were bombarded by high levels of ultraviolet radiation. The UVC, the most energetic type, was occluded by the Earth's atmosphere, but UVB and UVA especially came in unimpeded. UVB turns out to be incredibly important. It's very destructive, but it also catalyzes the production of vitamin D in the skin. Vitamin D being a molecule that we very much need for our strong bones, the health of our immune system, and myriad other important functions in our bodies. So living at the equator, we got lots and lots of ultraviolet radiation, and the melanin, this wonderful complex, ancient polymer compound in our skin served as a superb natural sunscreen. This polymer is amazing because it's present in so many different organisms. Melanin in various forms has probably been on the earth 1 billion years and has been recruited over and over again by evolution, as often happens. Why change it if it works? So melanin was recruited in our lineage, and specifically in our earliest ancestors evolving in Africa, to be a natural sunscreen, where it protected the body against the depredations of ultraviolet radiation, the destruction or damage to DNA, and the breakdown of a very important molecule called folate, which helps to fuel cell production and reproduction in the body. So it's wonderful. We evolved this very protective, wonderful covering of melanin, but then we moved. When humans dispersed into these latitudes, what did they face? Well, conditions were significantly colder, but they were also less intense with respect to the ultraviolet regime. So if we're somewhere in the northern hemisphere, look at what's happening to the ultraviolet radiation. We're still getting a dose of UVA, but all of the UVB, or nearly all of it, is dissipated through the thickness of the atmosphere. In the winter, when you are skiing in the Alps, you may experience ultraviolet radiation, but it's all UVA, and significantly, that UVA has no ability to make vitamin D in your skin. So people inhabiting northern hemispheric environments were bereft of the potential to make vitamin D in their...
Oh, sorry. If it's not one thing, it's another. If it's not one thing, it's another. It's not one thing, it's another. Basically, see, break it down why you belong close to the tropics. Between the tropical Capricorn and tropical Cancer. You feel me? All of humanity. That's our natural environment. I don't care how hot it gets out here. There's not the right type of sunlight we're supposed to be getting. The subtropics, smooth. The subtropics is smooth, but it's not enough. You belong in the tropics. You don't belong in the subtropics. You belong in the tropics. She said that UVB is highly dangerous. It's highly destructive. UVB radiation is only destructive to mutated cells. It tells mutated cells, it sends light codes in directions for mutated cells to self-destruct. So if you have a lot of cancerous cells inside of you, if you're a cancer cell, it's going to send instructions for you to self-destruct. That's what's going on right now. Melanin repairs DNA. She says that's why another main reason why it's where we want to go, because it's like a super intelligence. It got like super conductive abilities. It's like it's a superpower. It's a superpower. It's really a superpower. Melanin repairs damaged DNA from any harmful chemicals or what's called genetic modifications. One more time. Melanin repairs damaged DNA from any harmful chemicals or genetic modifications. That means that if you get sick from any harmful chemicals, or if it's any harmful chemicals inside the food, your melanin is going to repair it. All you got to do is it's going to repair it. It's going to heal it. It's going to repair it. It's going to repair it. It's a DNA repairing. It's going to break down any harmful chemicals once you heal your melanin and you stop feeding your body anything that's going against the healing process. The melanin is going to your melanin is going to heal you. It heals DNA. All you got to do is make sure that you stop feeding it things that's going against that process, and you stop doing things and thinking things that's going against the body's healing process. Once you cleanse the DNA, the melanin can act as a solar panel, absorbing the whole light spectrum to reach higher forms of consciousness. Melanin acts as a natural sunscreen against huge amounts of UVR. It's not just a skin pigmentation. It's not just the eye color. It's not just the hair color. It's a super semiconductor. It's able to absorb the whole light spectrum. The whole light spectrum, which means that once you tap into nature and you heal your melanin and you heal your DNA and repair your DNA by stop eating all the toxins and all the foods, the melanin is going to break down the chemicals. It's going to break down. It's more harder for you to get sick because melanin is repairing the DNA. It's protecting the DNA. It's harder for you to get sick by the chemicals in the food and the genetic modifications, the genetic modified food. Just stop eating any type of foods like that. Tap into nature, the melanin gonna start repairing. It's gonna start repairing. Then you're gonna start tapping into higher forms of intelligence.
Melanin is
Grounded. Grounding. This is the last one. This is the last slide. This the last, not the last slide. This is the last science. Grounding. Astrology, biology, quantum physics, melody, and grounding. I'm gonna do another presentation separately on the 3. Breaking down the 3. I'm gonna do another presentation, separate presentation about the 3. Because we pushing 3. And we pushing the 3. You feel me? So grounding. Why is grounding important? You feel me? It's important because T teaches that the human body is an organic device. It's an organic computer. You ain't never wonder why your palms are lightly pigmented. The rest of your body gets dark. It's dark. But your palms are lightly pigmented. You put them into the sun, they will not get dark. Because Chi teaches that they act as battery nodes. You're supposed to have them tapped into the earth. When you put the palms of your hands or the palms of your feet on the earth has a telluric energy. Telluric energy that flows throughout your body and heals you and destroys free radicals and reduces inflammation. This video gonna break it down.
When we wear shoes, we don't receive energy from the earth. For anyone who doesn't know, we need to absorb the electrons from the earth in order to balance out each part of our body with the earth's electrical current. Old studies have recorded the importance of this method, called earthing. This practice has several benefits, such as the reduction of inflammation and chronic pain, sleep improvement, better energy levels, and even less stress. Here are a few more benefits. Better circulation. Walking barefoot increases the blood flow to your legs, which helps you feel less pain, have less varicose veins, and have warmer feet in the winter. Lower blood pressure. Walking barefoot can help us increase our blood flow, lower our blood pressure, and lessen cortisol action, which in turn decreases inflammation all over the body. Better balance. When you can feel the ground, you can better stimulate the balancing system of your brain. This is especially important for elderly people. Less foot problems. Wearing the wrong type of shoes is normally the main cause of several foot problems, such as calluses, bunions, athlete's foot, and ingrown toenails. When we walk barefoot, we steer farther away from these kinds of problems. Even arthritis begins to slowly improve as our feet get stronger, more flexible, and receive better blood flow. Better posture. When we wear shoes, we are forced to move our hips back and forth, straining our back, shoulders, and neck in order to keep from falling. When we walk barefoot, the opposite happens. When we feel the ground, the nerve ends in our feet send us messages of balance. This can improve posture and balance, as well as reduce stress and bodily tension. Healthier kids. The American Pediatric Association recommends that kids walk barefoot as long as possible because shoes weaken and deform feet. According to Dr. Mercenich, one of the best neuroplastic physicians in the country, the stimulation we get from walking barefoot improves memory, attention, concentration, and intelligence. More strength. Walking barefoot helps us to stimulate new muscles that are used for both balance and support. Healthier feet. Our body follows an interesting principle. If you use something, you must maintain it. If you don't use it, it freaks out. When you walk barefoot, your feet wake up and begin to strengthen themselves. Reduced inflammation. Have you ever shocked yourself by touching something during the winter? This happens due to the difference in magnetic charge between your body and the object. This is the way your body gets rid of the unwanted charge. Studies have shown that free radicals act on our inflammation by transporting a positive charge. Although these particles of positive charge play an important role in our immune system, if we don't have a way to get rid of them, they build up in our bodies, causing excessive inflammation and even cell and tissue damage. The Earth, on the other hand, naturally possesses a negative charge. Direct contact with the Earth also allows us to get rid of the positive charge found in the free radicals, which can bring us several different health benefits.
That's hard. But she teaches that the Earth is the motherboard, or interface, which allows us to become one with the whole universe, the ether, as soon as contact is made with the Earth's telluric energy. And the Earth is vibrating at a frequency of 7.83 hertz. That's just a fun fact. But soon as you connect your organic body to the Earth, organically, directly, no shoes, because rubber is an insulator. That means it's blocking that flow of energy. As soon, immediately as you connect your body to the Earth, you become in tune with the whole universe. The whole universe, all the different planets, all the different forms of life, all the different countries, all the different people, all the living organisms. You become in tune with the whole universe immediately. Connecting directly to the earth, it says connecting directly to the earth belfort removes toxins, free radicals, inflammation, and excess mucus. We supposed to be connected to the earth directly 24/7. You're not supposed to be able to get no disease being connected to the earth. Facts. I don't know why when you go to the doctors, they don't tell you that you gotta be grounded. Instead, they send you to the pharmacy at CVS or Walgreens to go get some shit that's actually gonna make it worse. That's gonna give you other symptoms. You supposed to be grounded 24/7. You supposed to sleep on the earth. You supposed to eat from the earth. You supposed to drop your pot on the earth. You supposed to empty your cup on the earth. You supposed to sleep on the earth. Live on all that. You feel me? The human body is an organic computer that is not organically designed to be disconnected from the earth. You are an organic computer. You are an organic device. You are not supposed to be designed. Every other species in nature, they don't wear shoes. They not walking around this bitch wearing socks. They not walking around this bitch wearing a new pair of Jordans. They walking wearing their Yeezys or something. They are genetically designed, programmed to be in tune with nature. We the only species in nature that lives out of tune with their equilibrium, out of balance with what it is. We just out of tune. We think that we above nature. Even though that we are one with nature, even though that humans are a part of nature, like T teaches, we live our life as if like we above it because it's written that we have dominion over it. But with that dominion, we're supposed to use that dominion to live in harmony with it. We're not supposed to use that dominion to abuse it and abuse the power and destroy the earth. Now you got motherfuckers working for the system that's destroying the earth. That don't make no sense. The earth is negatively charged. The human body is positively charged. When connected to the earth, the free electrons flow through the body and balance it out, becoming a complete circle. So yeah, the earth is naturally carries a positive charge. The body carries a positive charge. The earth naturally carries a negative charge. Electron, that's that negative charge. So when you wearing rubber on your feet, you being disconnected from that natural flow. You're disconnected from that natural flow. So you're not in harmony with what is. You're not in harmony with God. If you want a direct connection to God, all you gotta do is go in your backyard and put your feet on the grass. That's all you gotta do. It's free. That shit free. It's a free, unlimited supply of electrons that heal you. The earth actually heals you. It has to heal you if it grows herbs and it grows different type of foods. Let that food be that medicine that heal you. So the earth itself has to have some type of power or EMF called telluric energy that heals you. And you can connect it. You can connect to it for free. You don't gotta pay for no herb. First of all, you're supposed to be living over there in your natural environment. You can just go in your backyard. You can go in your front yard, the park, for free and receive the electrons organically. It becomes a complete circuit. When you connect your positive charge to the earth's negative charge, it becomes a complete circuit. You're in harmony with what it is. You're in tune with that equilibrium. It's a harmony. It's a harmony right there. It's a natural flow. It puts you in tune with that circadian rhythm. She teaches that while we're up, our body is uploading light codes from the sun. It says while we're up, our body is uploading light codes from the sun that need to be downloaded properly into our DNA. You ever wonder why the moon and the sun be up at the same time, and the sun and the moon be up at the same time? People think that the moon is fake because they see the moon up at the same time as the sun. It's not that the moon is fake. She teaches that the moon is a satellite for consciousness. The moon is up at the same time as the sun sometimes because it's absorbing those light codes and preparing to download those light codes into your software. It's preparing to download those light codes into your software. That's what it's doing. It's another form of the sun. Everything is another form of the sun. All the other planets, the earth is the sun. The earth is another form of the sun. Everything is a sun. Let there be light, let there be life. All these different forms of life, all these different planes of existence, all these different life planes, these different planes of life, all these different life forms come from the sun. The moon is up at the same time as the sun because it's preparing to download the light codes into your software when you take it down. So while we're up, our body is uploading light codes from the sun that need to be downloaded properly into our DNA. At night, our computer goes to sleep while the moon downloads that new information into our being. Remember, she teaches that you are an organic computer. When your phone got an update on your phone, you got a new iOS 17 update. Your phone got a new update. What's going to happen? You're going to start downloading the update, and then your phone will go to sleep. And then once the phone wakes up again, it is now updated with the new software program. That's what you do. That's what you do at nighttime when you go to sleep. While you're up, your organic computer is uploading light codes. It's uploading information from the sun. When you take it down at nighttime, your computer takes it down. You go to sleep. The moon downloads that into your software. That's why T teaches that it's important that we sleep in the tent. You're supposed to be sleeping in the tent. You're supposed to be sleeping in the tent so you can connect directly to the earth so the moon can properly download that information to your software. You have to sleep on the earth. You have to sleep in the tent. If you're not going to sleep in the tent, sleep on a ground pad. Sleep on a ground pad. Make sure you can create a ground pad. You can create a ground pad. All you need is some cardboard, some aluminum foil, some copper, and some like a nail, like a metal nail, a metal rod or something. That's all you need. It's simple. It's really simple to connect to God. It's really simple to connect to the universe. It's simple. We must sleep on the earth, connect to the earth's solar energy to receive all the latest universal updates. You ever seen like a group of animals running the opposite direction from the actual disaster before it comes? That's because they naturally in tune with that. They could feel the earth's EMF. They could sense EMFs. They could sense the earth's EMF. It's called magnetoreception. It's called magnetoreception. Mechanoreception, magnetoreception. That's the ability to sense EMFs. EMF is an energy field. That's a field of light. So all the other species in nature, they can feel the EMF from a natural disaster about to come. They're in tune with those universal updates because they live on the earth. They sleep on the earth. They connect to the earth 24/7. We got that same ability. It's just that we've been programmed to walk around with rubber shoes our whole life, which is disconnecting us from that flow. It's disconnecting us from that energy. It's disconnecting us from receiving messages from the sun, because the earth is the sun. Rubber and wood are insulators of electricity, meaning they block energy from flowing. You feel me? So you walking around with rubber, wood shoes, you feel me? Wood, in general, is blocking you from God. It's blocking you from the universe. It's blocking you from nature. A conductor is a material or object that allows the flow of energy. Once immediately grounded, blood thins significantly, making the blood flow more intense. Blood gets decoagulated, lowering the risk of blood clots and tumors in the body. When you disconnect from the earth, your blood starts to become thick. Your blood becomes thick. It's called stacked up cells. All your cells become stacked up. The blood becomes thick. That's what's responsible for blood clots, tumors, everything. But literally, as soon as you connect your body to the earth, your blood begins to decoagulate, which means that the cells can move around freely now. Your blood can move around freely. It's not stacked up. It's not like a gel substance. When you disconnect it from the earth, it turns into like a gel, like solid. It turns into like a solid, like gel. You feel me? But once you connect to the earth, all that goes away. All that inflammation, all that chronic inflammation, all them chronic pains, chronic inflammation, all that excess mucus goes away. You don't gotta pay to get rid of. You don't gotta pay for no herb to get rid of excess mucus. The herbs are only gonna aid in the symptoms, like TT said. It's only gonna aid in the symptoms. But you gotta make sure you ground into the earth. You connect to the earth. You get in the proper amount of sunlight. All these fab science is showing you how you God. It's showing you how you belong in your natural environment. It's showing you objectively on this planet of existence to meet the people where they at. See, use the sciences to help people understand. It says the palms of the hands and feet are battery nodes that receive the earth's negative charge. You know how the battery, you got the positive and the negative on the battery. On the battery, you got the positive node and the negative node. Well, your body is naturally carrying a positive charge. The earth carries a negative charge. And your palms are like the battery nodes of a negative charge. You feel me? So when you connect your palms to the earth's negative charge, you receive all the electrons, which is that negative charge, that flow throughout your body and boost your cells. Your cells are electrical, they're not chemical. You gotta feed your cells electrons. You feel me? Feed your cells electrons, don't feed your cells chemical. Your cells are electrical. You are an electrical being. You feel me? That's why everything you interpret is electrical signals. Everything's electrical signals. The earth's electrons flow throughout the body, balancing out the electric charge, alkaline in the body. She teaches that no disease can exist in the alkaline body. No disease can exist in the alkaline body. Immediately, as soon as you connect to the earth, the body balances out. Both hemispheres of the brain balance out. You can't think properly because you're not grounded. You fucked up in your head. You can't think properly because your hemisphere's out of balance. That means that your body is out of balance. That means that you at dis-ease. That means that you at discomfort and pain. That's what it means to be at dis-ease. You can't truly you can't have a disease. Like T teaches. You ain't never heard the doctor say, oh yeah, you got to ease. oh, so how the fuck you gonna have a dis-ease? No, the body could either be at dis-ease or it could be at ease, which means that it's at discomfort and pain, or it's at freedom from discomfort and pain. You feel me? And it starts with the mind. But earthing plays a very big role. Like grounding plays a very big role in all that, in all diseases. Because a lot of diseases come from inflammation and like excess mucus. You feel me? Which comes from stress. Being connected to the earth, it calms your nervous system down. So you can't. It's kind of like hard to stress unless if you just all the way throw it off for real. If you just all the way throw it off for real, like then that's another story. Because your thoughts control the behavior of your cells. So it don't matter how much you ground, you can ground as much as you want. If you still thinking negative, that's not gonna really do nothing. You feel me? It's not gonna really do nothing. So that's what it does. You being connected to the earth balances out both hemispheres of your brain. The earth is the sun. To connect to the earth is to connect to the sun. It says in John 3:16, for God so loved the world, they gave his only begotten Son, S-U-N, that whoever is to believe in it shall not perish but have eternal life. She teaches that to believe in something is to be alive in it. To be alive in it is to be in tune with it. So how can we be in tune with the sun if that bitch is all the way up there? You feel me? We be in tune with, we could be alive in the sun, we could be in tune with the sun by being in tune with the earth, by being in tune with life over here, by being in tune with the earth directly. Your direct connection to the earth is how you directly connect to the sun and all the other planes of existence. Because Chief teaches that it's an interface. So the earth being an interface, that means that it's a plane of existence where everything is meeting right here at one spot. All the planets are meeting right here at one spot. Chief said the only way out is in. So you can't go to the other planes of existence through all the motherfucking rocket shit. You gotta go through constants. The only way out is through your imagination. And you already know that you dream. You already know that you already dream. You already know that this is a dream. I just shows all the quantum physics slides that you dreaming right now. It's a dream. The only thing that makes it different is your habits and your attachments. Pull you back in from your dreams to this reality to focus you in here. All of your habits and your attachments keep you locked in here. That's why Chief said you can't stay here. The roots of all suffering is attachments. You can't stay here. You dreaming. You can't stay here. An excessive, it says right here, an excessive amount of free radicals. Free radicals are unpaired electrons. You feel me? This is just unpaired electrons. So an excessive amount of free radicals or unpaired electrons can cause dis-ease. So as soon as you connect to the earth destroys free radicals. So it's impossible. You can't get dis-ease. Be connected to the earth. You can't get disease. But you gotta make it a lifestyle. It's not just a diet. It's not just, oh yeah, diet. No, it's a lifestyle. If you don't make it a lifestyle and actually believe in it and commit yourself to that, you're not gonna really see no results. Because the placebo effect. And the placebo effect and the nocebo effect. The placebo effect says your beliefs and thoughts manifest reality, which is a fact. The nocebo effect says that your negative thoughts and your negative beliefs manifest reality, which is a fact. As you think, so shall it be. A man is as he thinks. So being connected to the earth gets rid of free radicals, gets rid of inflammation, destroys excess mucus. You feel I am a cell living within my own body. Everything is fractal. The earth is a cell within my body. That's what's to get deep. That's what's to get deep. That's what's to get deep. Everything is cells. The earth, she teaches that the earth is the nucleus of a neuron cell within our body. Everything is cells. Everything is cells. Everything is cells. You live in a being. We exist on a being. I am a cell with 50 trillions of cells living on a cell within my body. The earth is a cell. Meaning that if you zoom out, if you was to keep zooming out and keep zooming out and keep zooming out, keep zooming out, eventually you're going to zoom out of your body. And then in that reality too, if you was to keep zooming out, you still as a cell in your body. It's all fractal. As above, so below as above. We exist in the being. And in that reality, we're also beings that exist in the being. And in that reality, we're also beings that exist in the being. It's as above, so below. It's as above, so below.
Large, starting our level, infinitely large, starting from a human being like us sitting in a park. Planet Earth, in our solar system, which forms together with other solar systems, or a galaxy, that forms together with other galaxies, our universe, which is a particle of a giant atom of a molecule of a cell of a giant being, perhaps a human being, who is also on a planet in a
I'm gonna play back one more time for y'all, cause that was just some deep shit right there. I ain't gonna lie to you, that was just some deep shit right there. So I'm gonna play back one more time for y'all, cause hey, you are a cell living within your body. You feel me? It's that rustling dog. Y'all ever seen one of them rustling dogs? It's like a big ass dog. When you open it up, and it's another rustling dog there. Then you open it up, and it's another dog there. And then you open it up, and it keeps on going. That's what life is. If you was to zoom out of Earth, if you was to zoom out of this house and zoom out of Earth and keep zooming out, eventually you gonna zoom out of you. The greater you, the being, another being, the being of you. And if you was to keep zooming out of that reality, keep zooming out, you're going to keep zooming out of you. It's all fractal. It's all fractal. As above, so below, as within, so without.
Our level, infinitely large, starting from a human being like us sitting in a park. Planet Earth, in our solar system, which forms together with other solar systems, or a galaxy, that forms together with other galaxies, our universe, which is a particle of a giant atom, of a molecule, of a cell of a giant being, perhaps a human being, who is also on a planet in a...
And yeah, that's what that is. That's the fast science's imagination. That's the fast science. Hey, reflect the light from the Most High, T. Baba Z. You feel me? I love myself.